And a very good morning to you folks. It is the final day of the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro, coming to you live, of course, from the little holiday hamlet of Kiama, New South Wales in Australia for the final day of this Grand Slam event. There's a little local there getting prepared for what will be a big day of battle. Tess McKenna and, of course, Toby Player joining me. So very good morning to you folks, and a beautiful day here in Kiama. And Tobes, the swell has just dropped a little overnight.
It has, mate. I mean, it's still 2 to 3 foot sort of things, lining up nicely on the bank. I went out there for a quick wave this morning. Some nice barrels, some good little ramps, so it's still very contestable. Yeah, so just weather-wise, it's an absolutely beautiful day. The winds will be offshore all day. Along with the competition today, Tobes, will also be having the Air Asia Tow Show, using the jet skis to fling the athletes into some waves here today. So we've got a little bit of everything. It's going to be a great day. Mate, it's going to be a good day for that. It's lining up a lot better, so should see some monster airs from the boys. So there's a lovely little image from Epicenter TV, of course, our webcast hosts. And beautiful morning here at Kiama, looking up towards the iconic headland with those Norfolk pines just creating a perfect silhouette. The swell, as we mentioned, just a little smaller. We're actually underway with the first heat of the day, and it's Dave Winchester, our defending champion from Mullumbimby, New South Wales, taking on the boy from Brazil, Pedro. It's going to be a good one. Mate, it's a good matchup. Also, Winnie got a little barrel before, didn't quite make it. In the other heats coming up today, second heat, we got Patrick Orr from Hawaii taking on Sammy Martino, so that's going to be a good matchup. Heat number 3, we got PLC, Pierre-Louis Carstairs, taking on Michael Osler from South Africa. And the final quarterfinal, we got Luciano coming on to take on Ben Player from Australia. So, wow. Yeah, mate, it's going to be a good one. Yeah, there's some great matchups in there, that's for sure. As you can see, the swell has dropped a little overnight, but we got some fun little waves. It's I would be calling this probably 2 feet with the occasional 3 feet set. Exactly. So, yeah, clean as, but, yeah, a bit slow. It's smaller than we would have hoped for. Let's put it that way. We've had such great waves, Toby, for the whole competition that I kind of felt like a bit bummed this morning when I rocked up and saw that Mother Nature had stolen 1 or 2 feet of swell from us. I know. It just didn't have that power of yesterday, but mate, I'm sure the guys will find some moments out there, and it's going to be an exciting day to watch. Yeah, and the forecast not that great, unfortunately, so we're just going to wrap the competition up here today with the Air Asia Tow Show and, of course, the quarter semis and finals of the Grand Slam number 4 on the APB World Tour. So keep those comments coming through the Facebook feed, folks. We would love to interact with our online audience. As we did yesterday, we had around about almost 80,000 people tune into the webcast, which is a great number. And again, if you're watching it this morning, drop Tobes and I a bit of a line, and we can have a bit of a chat with you people online. So, yeah, looks like looking at that stacked up on the top corner, Dave Winchester got the first wave at 1.62. So, mate, he opened the account, little barrel, and just didn't quite come out. So, yeah. Looks like we saw maybe that was Dudu there, just get a wave. So hopefully we can get a replay and see how that was for his first wave. Okay, so just small and glassy, but not real glassy. Pretty much sums it up for the final day here. Look, there are moments out here, Tobes. Since we've been here this morning, we've seen a couple of really nice 3 feet sets come through and wedge right in the corner. We started with a low tide earlier this morning. High tide's in the middle of the day. So a most likely outcome here for us for our final day in Kiama will be that we'll kick off here with the quarterfinals. We might even go on hold for a little while during that high tide period. Then we'll come back and run the first elimination rounds of the air show. We're going to put all this on the webcast, and then we'll roll back into the semis. We'll have the Air Asia final before we have the Grand Slam final. Perfect. Can't wait. I think it's meant to maybe pick up a little bit throughout the day. It is. And with the tide coming in too, should help it. It's supposed to go from 1 metre to 1.3 metres. So, a little bit more action out there with that incoming tide. Once we get off the back of the high, with the incoming tide, it traditionally gets a bit sleepy out here at Kiama. So that's our situation at the moment, folks. A beautiful day weather-wise here at Surf Beach Kiama, a lovely little part of the New South Wales south coastline. So we're just going to jump into that Facebook feed and have a bit of a chat to you people online. So Stone went for that score of Dudu to drop, see what he got there. Okay, so Dudu's score doesn't look like it's come through just yet. Dave Winchester got a little one to start with. Again, it's going to be a bit of a tricky day for the competitors. It's all about wave selection on a day like today. Those good sets that we saw yesterday, few and far between, but they're out there.
So hopefully we're going to see, as we said, a little pulse throughout the day. Push that share button if you can too, folks, and get that webcast out there. We'd love to share it around, get a lot of eyes on it. The more eyes, the more sponsors, basically. So we're all working together with this whole tour. Of course, it's one of the great things about bodyboarding is the fraternity itself, as we see Dudu, a little wave on the inside here. Dudu up and busting a nice little manoeuvre. So
nice little roll. I think that's a good one to start off with. Probably go in the lead with that. Only needing 1.63, so it's going to be an easy one to get, but obviously not going to be a high score in the scheme of things. As we see the replay here. Here he comes, hits it nicely. Nice execution. It's going to be interesting to see how they score that, because that's kind of like the first scoring wave of the day.
That's right.
That'll set the standard for the rest of the day.
There's a nice little silhouette of that roller from Dudu Pedro from Brazil. Bom dia, tudo bem to all the Brazilians that are tuning in, the Portuguese people over there in Portugal. Of course, we're going to Sintra from here, Tobe. So Sintra's been the longest running World Tour event in history. It's run for 24 years this year. So looking forward to heading back there. Of course, we'll crown the World DK champion there. There'll be a women's division, Pro Junior qualifier, and, of course, a quest event for the men's, which will be really important as well.
Definitely. I know a lot of the guys are going straight from here, straight over there, so tight schedule.
Absolutely. So a big shout-out to Tyler Crinks, who's tuned in watching the action. Matty Eggins back and into it. Jay Stone, nice call, buddy. Jay Stone saying here it goes flat until Sunday, so good idea to finish up today. That's the plan, Jay. JJ Kirkwood also is saying it's great to hear that it's on. Hey, JJ, how you doing? Jacob Vandervelde is back. We got Rui Pereira, of course, a former World Tour competitor. Rasta King, you little boxer. How are you, buddy? Bronco Harcher is tuned in, along with Timmy Fisher from WA, and Chico Garitano, of course, our head judge from Brazil. How you doing, Chico? Always great to see him checked in. Emma Cobb, of course, is a local on the South Coast here. Hey, Em, how you doing? We would have hoped to have seen you the other day for the little women's exhibition. Rebecca Villarino also turned up, which was a real flashback as well.
Yeah, I saw her on the beach.
Yeah, that was cool. So Dudu Pedro getting pretty busy out here. I'm not too sure if the widget's actually working on the webcast. Looks like the judges are still waiting to put Dudu's first wave scores in. Is that correct?
Let's have a look. I think maybe Dudu, yeah, I can't see it on the stacked up there, but on the replay, see him do another roll. Yes, so
it is the first heat of the day, and quite often the judges will hold back the scores from that first heat to set the benchmark accordingly. There's a couple of locals here in Kiama going for a walk with the family and got the dog out, and yeah, it's just a beautiful place to live down here on the South Coast. So if you come on down here and you love it, then why don't you move here?
Yeah, exactly. Look at it, living the dream there.
It is. It's a beautiful part of the world down here. I just really enjoy coming down here to Kiama. It's a wonderful place. Thank you very much to the Kiama Council. We saw the Mayor, Mark Honey, going out for a paddle this morning.
Mate, as I came in, he was paddling out. He was frothing, just amped to get out there. So good to see.
How good is that?
Yeah.
That's unreal, man. That's really inspirational. I mean, he's 69 years of age, you know, so he's not a young man, and he's out there and he's having a go every day. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he's going, when they starting, do I have enough time? And I'm like, yeah, mate, get out there.
Good on you.
I think you got 2 or 3.
All right, so judges throwing their impressions in the form of scores there for Dudu Pedro on screen. The Brazilian in the lead with a 4.38 and a 4.05. Dave Winchester on the back foot right now, chasing a 6.82 when he's only got that first little throwaway score. We're going to see these guys are going to really wait around for the better waves here today.
Exactly. So we got Dave Winchester. He's sitting in the northern corner there, waiting for the left wedge. There is a few coming through there, sort of the set waves. Dudu's sitting a bit further down the beach. As the camera pans across, you can see him there on the right in the yellow. He's kind of just waiting for the right-handers. So they've got different strategies. At the moment, Dudu's is paying off better. But Dave Winchester in priority, he just needs to get a decent wave, and he'll be stoked. When I went out there this morning, it was it's walling up really well, but then it's kind of hard to get up to the lip in time if you want to do an air move. And the barrels, there's some nice little barrels there, and they actually go for quite long if you get a good one in the corner. So I'm sure that's what Dave Winchester's looking for.
Okay, so let's check it out. There are 30-minute heats. Right now we're down to 19 and a half to go, and it is the Brazilian in the lead, Pedro, with a nice little break over there. The defending champion, Dave Winchester from Mullumbimby, New South Wales. As you can see, a shimmery and a very glassy, playing field here at Kiama Surf Beach today. Just unfortunately, the swell has dropped off a little bit. A big shout out to some of our online audience, including Bruno Simeo is back and watching. Gilgra Jataba, I think it is, saying, let's go doo-doo. That's a bit of a tough name. David Goliath is watching. What a name that is. Do you reckon that's a real name? David Goliath?
Oh, no, it's a good one, isn't it?
I wonder if he has, like, little battles with himself when he gets on the grog. Hunter Nichols is also watching. He's our little Pro Junior winner from the other day. And Stevie Hartshorn is back as well, along with Shane Lono and Nani Jackson. So thanks again, everyone. We do appreciate those little comments coming through the Facebook feed. Make sure you push that share button. That's what we'd really love.
Yes, spread the love.
Of course, here with Toby Player. Toby, of course, from the Bodyboard King.com, and they've got some pretty good bargains happening throughout the competition.
Exactly, mate. So if you want to go to the website, we got a code to use Kiama 15, so that'll take 15% off any order. So yeah, whack it in the right-hand side of the checkout, and you'll be away. So that's running until the end of the competition. So you better get in today before it expires.
Okay, so that's a good little tip there for you can save some money as we see Dave Winchester. This is our current defending champion, Winnie, just boosting a nice little roll on that one. Again, these guys just trying to get some early rides here to take off the pressure. But as far as the weather goes, oh my goodness, it is an absolutely perfect day, spring day here in southern New South Wales, Australia, as we wrap up the fourth of the Grand Slam events for 2019, Tobes.
Exactly. So we saw a good exchange there. Dave Winchester getting a nice set wave and doing a big roll, and then Dudu straight behind him doing a nice ARS. So Dudu's wave was a bit smaller, as we see Dave take off on the replay here. Comes along nicely and just hits it pretty clean, nice landing. You know, he couldn't have done much more for that. So that'll probably be maybe the highest score of the heat at that stage. And then we've got Dudu coming through and just hits a pretty clean, nice execution there. I mean, not as big of a wave, but a better move. So it'd be interesting to see what the judges say.
Absolutely. So Ricardo Cobra online saying, Vamos, Dudu Pedro, which means get it going on, my man. And there is a nice little roll. Wow, that's a cool image with that silhouette looking up into the sun in the morning. Beautiful imagery there from our friends at Epicenter TV, who had a presentation to the world's best athletes last night. I'm not going to blow the lid on it, but they have some pretty exciting stuff happening.
Yeah, it was they really had some great ideas, and a lot of the best guys in the world, the sort of leaders of the sport, were there, and it was a really good and interesting conversation.
It was indeed, yes, and I guess it's regarding content and the fact that, you know, a lot of stuff is becoming on demand these days. People don't want to sit around and wait for a show to come on at 7:30 at night. They want to watch it when they're ready to watch it.
Right now.
So it's like Netflix or Spotify. All sorts of content are becoming like that. In fact, I went to a meeting with the radio station before. I work with Triple M and the Hit Network here in Australia. I went to a meeting at the radio station. They said by 2022, so only 3 years away, 70% of all listeners in radio in Australia will be online listeners.
Is that right? Not even car radio?
No, listening on demand.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything is heading that way. It's a world that we live in, isn't it? That's for sure. Okay, so we're down to half-time. Dudu Pedro in the lead with a 6.62 and a 4.38. Then you got Winnie on his hot on his tail now, chasing a 5.13. So it's game on, Tobes, in this first quarterfinal of the day.
It is game on, and as you saw, Dudu got the higher score out of that exchange there, 6.62, as he takes off on another one at the back.
Okay, so Dudu just a nice little spin through the inside. They're just testing that other microphone downstairs. It's an ambient mic just to bring us a little bit of the flavour of the crowd, etc. So it's going to be fantastic. 15 on the clock, so we're down to half-time. First heat of the day, and it's Dudu Pedro from Itacoatiara in Brazil. He is the current heat leader. Just waiting for that man there winning to clock in his next good score. He's already got a 5.88. Prior to that wave of Dudu, he was chasing a 5.13. Let's see if it goes up.
Mate, that's easy to get for Winnie. So hopefully he comes through as we see a replay here.
I don't know what's going on with that.
That's weird.
With that audio in the background. But it sounds like we've had some aliens take over the commentary, the beach commentary.
Some drunk aliens.
So, production team, yeah, thanks, guys. That was interesting audio, though.
Slowed down a little bit, I think. Here's Dave Winchester. What's he got for us? Little pit.
Ooh, Winnie.
There you go.
Winnie played a little bit of hide and seek for the right. Oh, get out of here, Dave Winchester. And he's going to put the magic sauce on the end of it.
There you go.
So that's going to be a tough one for Dudu to match. You know, he was chasing a. Oh, and again, Winnie. Wow. I tell you what, this guy just comes out of the wilderness.
He does, doesn't
once a year and comes and takes on the world's best. And it looks like he hasn't had a day off the world tour.
It's so funny. I told you there was some barrels out there, and there's Dave Winchester showing how it's done.
Well, here's the APB replay on this one. You can see Winnie just sets this one up, Tobes.
Look at that, just hooked in. I thought he was gone. I'm like, I'm looking from down the beach too, couldn't see him, and then he comes through.
Even the cameraman sort of half gave up on him, and then in the end, it's like, hang on, this is Winnie, I better keep filming, and then boom, nice little roll on the end section.
And he milks it all the way to the corner with another roll. So good on him. That's going to be a high score, I think. It could be the biggest one of the heat so far. I was actually out with Winnie last night, went to dinner, and he's just the funniest dude. We just had a couple of beers. He was so relaxed. You know, just such a mellow dude.
Wow, look at this! Look at this front side views. I mean, it's only small, but there's still some great little waves. We would have killed for something like this last year, wouldn't we, Tobe?
Exactly, mate. Look at that.
So we got spoilt this year with a whole bunch of swell, but today is smaller, but it's still really quite clean out there. And Dave Winchester, is he still in that thing?
That's our angle. And there he is. Finally pops out.
Wow, that is pretty wild. Little tube ride on a small day there. Winnie just really putting the pie in the oven on that one, and he's going to get a good score for that.
He's frothing. Ricardo Cobra, great wave from Winnie. He says on Facebook, Michael Reynolds, go Winnie, you from the Northern Beaches. Yeah, a lot of Aussies going for Winnie, of course. And I'm sure a lot of the Brazos are going for Dudu Pedro. And he was in the lead, so let's see what the judges drop for this score. It's going to be interesting to see here. Wow, that was cool. That was great to see. As you see some sets pulsing in out the back, it's actually kind of like picking up a little bit, I think. Looks like, I can see an 8 and 8-5 coming from two judges from Winnie's wave. So it's going to be a high score, just waiting for the other two to drop. Let's see his final score there. And Dudu's last one looks like a 2.08. So, not on the scheme of things. A big set coming in here. I can see Winchester sitting a bit wide. We've got, which angle we're going to go for here? Dave Winchester. And there's Dudu on the right there, big roll. And we saw Dave Winchester on the left. There we go. Good editing there by the camera guys. Yeah, nice work, production team. This is epicenter.tv. Of course, they have a whole bunch of our stuff on their website as well. There's some cool collaborations that are coming up in the future with these people. But for now, we're down to around about 11 minutes on the clock. So still waiting for that score to come through for Winnie's previous wave. I reckon it's going to be a pretty good one, that's for sure. A big shout out to some of our online audience. Marshall Watson tuning in, along with Jasper Ashmore, both those guys from down there at Knights Beach in South Australia. How you doing, fellas? Michael Copetta is again watching. Tiago Ferraz is doing a little shout out to his mate Marco Silva. Nicole Fleming, hey, how you doing? Is tuned in along with my girlfriend Kirsty Alana. How you doing? We've got Blanchy, Mick Parkhill, and all the regulars logged in here today. Right, it's going to be a good day. As you see that score, Dave Winchester 8.38. Oof. Okay, so Winnie's going to sneak into the lead here, folks. We're going to throw to a quick commercial break and be back with more live action from Kiama right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, so welcome back. Just a quick little break in the action while we pay some bills here, folks, in Kiama, of course. Thank you very much to all of our great sponsors, none more than Bodyboard King and, of course, the gang at Stojo with their collapsible cup, saving Mother Nature one cup at a time. Tez McKenna, Toby Player, taking you through our final day here in Kiama. Dave Winchester got out to a bit of a lead with that last two waves he had was pretty solid scores, 8.38. Here's a replay of Dude. I think this is...
That's Dave Winnie there. He got a barrel, but... Yeah.
Okay, so that was Winnie just pulling into... getting clamped on that one, I guess. Yeah. And we also saw Dudu Pedro during that ad break. Yellow got himself a pretty nice wave. Here's the replay for Dudu. And Dudu set this one up with a nice ARS. Hit that one pretty sweetly. He's got a ride out of there. Got a little tied up there, but he eventually came out the front. So we'll see what the judges thought about that stuff, Toby.
Mate, that's going to be a good score. Probably his highest, I think. So just waiting for those final. Here's another replay of the different angle. Looks like almost a... Oh, here we go. Nice little barrel.
That's Dave. Wow, that's a beautiful angle looking straight into the barrel here at Kiama. So, that is Dudu, yes. Our apologies. Sorry about that. It is Dudu Pedro, just early days with the glare this morning. And look at the timing there. Dudu Pedro hitting that one handsomely. Probably didn't get quite the projection he was hoping for, but in the end, just good technique and great skills got him through the foam ball at the end.
Big time, mate. So I think, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because he needs a 7.65 to get into first place. So we'll see what the judges say. That was it was a good move. I think it's a bit bigger than these other ARSs, so I think it's going to be a better score, but who knows. As we see, looks like he got a 6.8. So he hasn't changed the position there. He just needs a 7.47. So judges really scoring Dave Winchester's barrel to the two rolls very well. So I guess that's what they're looking for, a length of ride over sort of just one move at the moment.
Okay, so it's an interesting little criteria here today. It's, of course, going to have to adjust it a little bit from yesterday, where we just saw, some really big wedges and some great opportunities for high-flying moves today. Might be more about the combos and trying to connect the dots a little bit. The waves don't have quite the grunt to get those one single big moves happening. Anyway, it's heat number one. We're down to 7 minutes remaining. Just having a talk with Sophie Levis, who just turned up here. Sophie's going to be doing some social media for the APB, keeping everyone up to speed and maybe shooting a bit of behind-the-scenes stuff and just doing a bit of Insta Live behind the scenes. That'll be pretty cool. So keep an eye out for that stuff on the social pages of APB Tour. For now, we're down to 6.5 minutes remaining. Our final day here at Cronulla. What a cracker of a day, Tobes.
Mate, look at it. Perfect. I got up this morning. It was even quite warm. It wasn't even cold. It was a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky again and light offshores pulsing in. Swells like 2 to 3. It could be a bit bigger, but it could be a lot worse too, so we're stoked. Yeah, absolutely. So Simon Hill is watching. We've got Kevin Orihuela and looks like Kevin Torres, all the boys watching from over there in the Canary Islands. So buenos dias, hermanos. Muchas gracias for checking out the webcast. Michael Appleston is locked in. Eppo was here the other day. Still busting the old Eppo airs. Mate, he was ripping. He was on fire.
Wasn't he? What?
Impressive.
Unbelievable. Mohammed, of course, is checking on in, of course, one of our Moroccan bodyboarders. So very good morning to all of our friends over there in Morocco. You been to Morocco, Tobes?
I haven't. I'd love to go. It looks amazing.
I would love to go.
There?
We were supposed to have a contest there this year for the women. Unfortunately, fell over, but they'll be back next year. But I was really looking forward to that because it's a very different culture and, would have been a great experience. And I've always wanted to go to Casablanca. It seems like such a classic venue. So. Yeah. But anyways, we'll hopefully get the APB tour back there next year. But this guy here, Dudu Pedro, on screen, he wants to get himself into the semi-finals. He's going to need a 7.47 to fly his way up into the lead. So right for now, Dudu, 7.47 to go to first. Dave Winchester holding the lead with a low score, 5.88, just on 5 minutes remaining.
So, Dave Winchester, you know what? You see him, I don't know how he does it, but he just seems to be able to pick the best waves, and he's done that again. That's why he's got that 8.38. Dudu's had a great heat too. He hasn't surfed badly, just kind of going for the shorter moves. So we see a little bit of a set rolling in out the back here. Dave Winchester on the left of the screen there in red, just letting that wedge go past, maybe looking for the one behind. They're really standing up in the corner together. Right when you can see maybe this wedge is coming across. there. Dave Winchester in the spot. Is he going to paddle?
Nah, I think it's just too short a little wall on that one, but definitely some fun little waves here. A bit worried this morning when I rolled up. I was like, oh, golly, is this even, is this the day we're going to finish the contest? But then some seps came through and we all sort of stood around with the athletes and made a collective decision that, you know what, it's better to, this is totally contestable out here today. And, anywhere around the world would be pretty happy to run a contest in these conditions. We've been a little spoilt over the last couple of days with a good solid 2-metre swell pounding the south coast of New South Wales. But today it's dropped off a little more than we would have hoped for. We do have a forecast, though, Toby, where the swell is going to rise by about 1/3 bigger by late this afternoon. So it's good news.
Fingers crossed. I mean, the tide is sort of pushing it in right now. I know a lot of guys on the I can see on Facebook here asking, why don't you wait till Sunday for the waves? Well, it's just at the moment, if you know the east coast of Australia, it's always up in the air as to whether we're actually going to get swells, especially south swells. They're called hoax swells pretty much because they look big and then they just fade out. So we just thought we'd just wrap it up today when we do have some decent waves and just everyone's stoked. And, we could hold off, but I just think that was a bit of a risk, really. So I'm glad we're running it out here and the fellas are making it look good. Yeah,
the thing is that if you're looking at waves, and then you're looking at a forecast that has possibly has waves, you just got to go with, what makes sense. And it makes sense to finish the contest here today in a beautiful day with some fun little waves at the wedge. You know what else today, Tobes? We have the Air Asia tow show. So we're going to be using the jet skis to fling the athletes into the waves. And that's going to be pretty spectacular too.
It's going to be epic. Good to watch. That was a highlight last year. Guys were going big and... I might even get out there too.
Yeah.
Try to rip an arm off.
Get out there, mate. Good luck with it. Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So, what are we looking at right now? We're down to 2.5 minutes left on the clock. So, all of Brazil just holding their breath here, waiting to see if Dudu Pedro is actually in second spot and second priority. So when he's managed to get that, that priority in the last 5 minutes, Tobes, that is so important.
It is, mate, especially, Winnie just loves waiting for good waves. As you can see, he's only caught a few waves. Have a look at how many he's got 5 in total, sorry, as Dudu's got 7. So Dudu's got a lot higher turnover, but he just loves to wait for the good ones, Winnie, and that's what he's doing right now. Yeah, especially when he's in the lead, he's got nothing to lose.
That's right. So, and the other thing is, I was talking about the priority in the last 5 minutes. A lot of the athletes now are actually constructing their heats so that they go into a priority situation at that 5-minute mark, and then you can either hold your opponent off or try and get the score you need to go into the lead. So, positioning yourself like that and constructing your heat around that concept is a pretty popular thing these days.
Definitely. That's what a lot of guys do. And a lot of guys do it just for the psychological effect too, You got that upper hand. So if you're looking for a big score, it's very hard to get it if you're not in priority. As we see Dudu on a nice right-hander here.
Okay, so Dudu Pedro, of course, coming out of Itacoatiara, a beautiful little beach in Niterói in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And he'll kick out of that one. Dudu, one of the awesome foursome that's going for the world title in 2019. So Dave Winchester will try and replace his low score at the moment. It's that 5-point-something. So Winnie's just hanging out the back there, looking for a little wave to come through. This is the replay for Dudu Pedro.
Look at Dudu. Nice roll there. It's only a small wave, but he just rides this perfectly, really. Nice roll there. Comes in and then bangs a sweet little ARS. And, not much pop there, but he just really rode that wave. Couldn't have ridden it any better, really. It was perfect. So, interested to see what the judges say. He needs a 7.47. The only thing stopping him getting that is the size of the wave, I think. Besides that, he rode it really well.
Yeah, nice stuff. Again, Sess Black as a Glossop, Jake Dean, Bradley George. How you doing, Brad? Long time no see, mate. Timmy Fisher's online. Mohammed, of course, from Morocco. We got James Neymeyer from Newcastle. Guillermo Lopez. And a whole bunch of others. Luke Clement's also online, as well as Eli Murphy. Keep those comments coming and push the share button. That looks like a wrap on heat number 1. So it will be Dave Winchester. What a great result there for Winnie, our defending champion. We'll be moving on through into the semi-finals. And Dudu Pedro clocking up a quarterfinal, position here in Kiama for the 4th Grand Slam of 2019. Not a bad way to start the day, Tobes.
Go, Winnie.
Okay, looks like we're going to throw to a commercial break, I believe now. Well, you can hear the music in the background. We're going to throw to a commercial break and be back with more live action right after this. So don't go anywhere, folks. More from Kiama after the break.
Like a bird of prey, Bubble. Raw, undiluted talk, and then and the boulders start rolling towards left and right, all the way to the top.
The 590 Newton meter Amarok V6.
What do you mean we can't show it?
And a very good morning to you folks. Tessa and Toby taking you through the final day here at the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro, of course, a Grand Slam event on the APB World Tour. We saw in that first one, mate, it was a pretty good performance from Dave Winchester.
Mate, Dave Winchester getting a long pit into two rolls. He was on fire, and Dudu was having really good too, but just didn't quite get the length of waves or the big sets that Winnie did.
No, that's right. So stoked to have you people with us on our final day here in Kiama. You can see over the shoulder there, it's a classic Norfolk pines. This is a real feature of their headlands with the big trees on them all the way through the south coast. It's a beautiful part of the world.
Mate, it's flawless. Look at this. What a great day again. I'm stoked. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We've got lots of action coming up, so stay tuned.
Yeah, you betcha. So quarterfinal number 2 is underway. It's an all-Hawaiian affair, this one. We got Patrick Orr, who was in devastating form yesterday. Patrick's in the red singlet taking on his mate and his little travelling partner, Semi Martino, both these kids from Hawaii.
Look at that replay of Semi's wave there. As we see him just coming up to this section and doing that trademark roll. Boom.
He's such an agile and such a, you know, those meerkat-like reflexes have been like a real bonus for Sammy over the last 12 or 18 months, you know, since he rocked up a couple of years ago in Sintra, won the World DK title. And then I thought to myself, gee, this kid can prone pretty good as well. But since then, I think he's put himself almost into the same class as guys like Dave Winchester, who can drop knee and prone just almost identical, you know, same kind of talent. And maybe Dave Hubbard as well. You know, there's only a couple of people in this category.
Definitely. I mean, guys that just rip on the knee and prone. So, yeah, Sammy's been ripping it. His first heat, I saw him out here, he had an absolute Barry Crocker. Just didn't get any waves.
He had a drop. He had an interference, a priority interference on Jeff Hubbard.
He was out of sorts, and then since then he's just pulled his game back together, and he's just been on fire, just killing every heat, winning everyone with these kind of things. So
okay, this is Patrick Orr in his opening wave. Patrick just going in front of Sammy there. These guys are staying together, so it's an interesting matchup. And Patrick realising that wave wasn't going to offer him too many opportunities. So there's the boys there sitting and waiting patiently. I don't think there'd be a lot would be said between these two guys during the heat. I mean, you know, they're great mates outside of that, but you can see now that once the flag drops, the talking stops.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, so these guys hanging out last night after the competition, having a couple of beers together, so they were just very happy to go as far as they have. And one of them's going to go further. It just depends who's going to be surfing better right now, really.
Very good morning to Adam Wingnut-Smith, absolute legend. Came down here the other day. We had of course, the vintage series, the heritage series, where we put a whole bunch of former legends and luminaries out into the lineup. And gee, it was a great afternoon, that one, Tobes.
Mate, it was just good to see everyone just out there together, sharing waves, boosting. I mean, you saw the trademark cutties from Steve McKenzie, the big airs from Bullet, and I saw Jay Spence do a couple of big rolls. Chopper Riley just with his flawless cross-leg spins, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's so good. The boys have still got it, haven't they?
They do. I mean, a lot of them still get out there and surf quite a bit. I saw Nick Gibbs just flying along like long pits and that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you forget how young these guys were when they were really influential as well. You know, they were all in their teens, you know, when they were like superstars. So, you know, 15 years passes and you think, you know, and it still only makes them like in their mid-30s.
Exactly. They're all pretty fit and healthy, you know. You see them, none of them are like unfit. They're all just, they don't really look their age, to tell the truth. As we see in the corner here, you got Sammy just looking for a big section. Looking for that innie, and he's got it under his bag, as we see Patrick lining up one behind him. If we can get that on camera.
Sammy's so methodical the way that he just keeps those scores going. And wow, that was a pretty spectacular manoeuvre.
So is Patrick there doing a nice ARS.
Okay, well, that's a great one from Pat. Pat's kind of keeping right on his tail here. These guys surf together every day. Here's the replay, firstly, of Sammy Martino, Toby.
Look at this, coming through. He's just lining up this section. He's so light and agile. There he goes. Boom. Perfect execution. So, yeah, that was going to be a good score, I think. These guys are going head-to-head. It's quite close at the moment. As we see right behind him, here's Patrick just showing his mate how it's done. Big ARS right in front of him. So that'd rattle his cage for sure. You
got to be thinking that is a little bit more tactical manoeuvre than semi-straightforward invert, although, you know, it's going to be interesting the way the judges see it.
Yeah, I think Sammy had a nice clean landing and execution. It was Pat got caught up a bit, but I think Pat's wave was a bit bigger maybe. So
yeah. Let's see which way the judges lean with this one. Couple of locals just cruising along in the morning here at Surf Beach Kiama. As we said, we're about 1.5 hours south of Sydney, and just a beautiful little holiday haven. You know, real estate around this part of the world is very expensive because we're so close to Sydney. People live here and work in Sydney, Tobes.
Pretty sought after. There's a train station. I mean, the roads are really good back up to Sydney. So, yeah, if people don't work in Sydney, then they own a lot of holiday houses and come down for the weekend. So, yeah. Everything down here is beautiful. The grass is super green. The waves are pumping. Great fishing. Great surfing. Great community. It's, we went out to dinner last night to a nice Vietnamese restaurant, and the food was amazing. Having a great stay. As we see, Sammy Martino's wave got a 7.68 there.
Wow.
And I can see the scores coming for Patrick, which are 7.8, 8.5, and an 8. So
okay. So they did lean towards Pat, being a bit more technical.
A little bit bigger wave, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Wow. Okay. So Patrick Orr, there it is, 7.9. He's right on the tail of his mate Sammy Martino with 20 minutes remaining. Patrick chasing a 6.34 to go into the lead. It looks like Patrick there just trying to get a little cover up here at the wedge, as they call it, here in Kiama. So coming up in the next set, we're going to see a great one as Pierre-Louis Carstairs will take on Michael Osler. So the Frenchman will take on the South African. And then it's Brazil v Australia. Ed Luciano will take on former world champion, three-time world champ Ben Player.
Yeah.
Going to be a great one.
That. As we see post here from Morgan Brown, Sammy and Paddy, both champions. Morgan's a local down at Blackrock, one of the best bodyboarders I've seen for a long time. Natural talent, just boosts. He's a big man, but he can fly.
Oh, absolutely. Last time I was down there with Morgs, it was pretty cool hanging out surfing Blackrock with him, and he got the best keg. He was riding the foam ball the whole way, and it was like the best wave of the whole day.
Dude, that's what he does. He gets out there and he just gets the best wave.
Yeah, it's
every
awesome.
time.
So g'day Morgs, how are you, champion? As we look up towards some of those expensive houses on the headlands here, as I mentioned, these houses up there, those big ones there would be worth in the 2 million, maybe 3 million plus.
Big time, for
Australian dollars. So, very expensive real estate down here. And no wonder it's such a beautiful part of the world. Again, that's Shannon, our photographer, just making away along the shoreline there. What a classic. Got Kai and the guys, of course, doing the lifeguarding out the back there. You can see them keeping a close eye on proceedings, and that's the corner here at the wedge. Only a very small little beach, this one, but it's a great one, and it's really renowned for that left-hand wedge in the corner, which is perfect for bodyboarding.
Mate, it's a really consistent wave. It's always seems like it's got good banks out here. Especially this morning, like right on that corner, you do get the wedge coming across. I think the tide is sort of killing it a bit, and that's why they're moving sort of more towards the middle of the beach now. But yeah, as we saw before, Tessa, we saw some big sets roll in, probably in the 4-foot range. Those ones.
Yeah, that one was during the break when we had the ad break, but just nobody got them. Just a couple of big bomb sets. So that's a great indication for later. Got a private message from our head judge, Chico Garitano. He just said, say hello to Toby if you have a chance, and tell him I said thanks for all his support inside bodyboarding, and he misses judging you in massive waves.
Thanks, Chico. Mate, I remember we've been in some great comps together, so
yeah,
he's a legend of the sport.
Yeah,
he's been around for a long time. Cheers, Brant.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
Too.
He'll be in Sintra, so we look forward to hanging out with him then. We're down to just on 18 minutes remaining, so hope you're enjoying the action, folks. It is quarterfinal number 2 of the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. Well, there's a little break in the action. We do have a lot of sponsors to make this competition happen, and we need to make sure we make some noise. So we're going to throw to a commercial break and be back with more live action from Kiama right after this. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everyone. Just a little break in the action there, highlighting some of our sponsors here at the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro, presented by Stojo for 2019 here in New South Wales. Don't forget, if you want more information about this wonderful state, go to visitnsw.com. Not a bad state, the old New South Wales, Tobes.
Mate, I love the South Coast, especially this region. This is my favourite, so...
I mean, people ask me about Australia when I travel around the world all the time, and I go, yeah, okay, we're in an island in the middle of nowhere. So the bottom line is that up the top of the country, it's pretty tropical and hot and no waves. Down the bottom, it's cold and windy. Over the other side, it can get punished by the elements, the big swells and the big winds and stuff. But over here on the East Coast, definitely the spot to be.
We got it all, mate.
We got the white sandy beaches and we're loving it. And right in the middle of the country where kind of you and I live, is perfect because we have a very distinct 4 seasons. We have a little tiny winter that lasts for like 2.5 months. Spring right now is just beautiful weather, summer and autumn, So you have the 4 seasons, whereas if you live up north or down south, you've always got a jacket on in Melbourne. And if you're up in Darwin, you're going stir crazy you're going troppo with the heat.
Definitely, mate. No, I'm stoked. This is a great area to live in. Good waves too. We got it all. Kiama area is great. Proximity to Sydney is so close. You got a metropolitan area there. Got all the big city things, but you can just get away. That's the thing about Australia too. We got everything that's all the mod cons, but then you can just get away from it all, get bush, go country, just go camping and get feral.
Absolutely. Lots of good stuff happening. A big shout out to my friend Alfred Sepulveda, of course. He's over there in Eureka, the man they call Yo-Yo. He's an absolute legend. And missing you, bro. Hopefully you're watching the webcast here along with all of our other Spanish-speaking friends from both Iquique and Antofagasta. We had such a great South American leg, Toby.
Mate, always pumping over there, aren't they?
It's probably one of the most consistently good spots in the world, I'd say, as we go to Patrick Orr, having a little look at that one. Pat's in priority 2, so he's allowed to, explore options. But there's no doubt about it, mate, that, I stayed almost 3 months in Chile. It's just it's the last frontier as far as, uncharted sort of waves and that are concerned. That was Semi Martino making a pretty fundamental error. It's rare that you see that. Here's Patrick Orr right behind him, Tobes.
Look at this, big section, nice big clean roll there. So, that's going to be, what's going to get a 6.34.
So he almost landed on top of Semi. How funny was that? Look at him, he's like, sorry, man. And Semi's like, yo, bro, you're taking me out right now. What's going on? That's all time.
Bit of banter going on there.
That's one way to take out the opposition.
Straight on him.
Yeah, just land on the guy. What's he got there?
I don't know. He's got something in his hand.
He's got some seaweed in his hand, I think. Has he? I don't know what he's showing to the crowd. He's saying, this seaweed made me slip off. Look, there it is there. What is that? Is that a goggles?
Yeah, something like that. Looks
I
like
think it's
strap.
it's a set of goggles. Look, he's going to give it to old mate on the jet ski and saying, hey, I just found these goggles. Yeah, what a classic. Somewhere there's maybe one of those people walking up and down the beach there has gone snorkeling this morning, like thinking, like, hang on, didn't I come here with a set of a mask and goggles?
It shows you how laid back he is, though. Like, him and Patrick could have had a paddle battle then back out of the peak, but he's too busy giving the goggles back to the jet ski. So.
Yeah, that's a classic, eh? That's a wine style right there, bro. And aloha to all of our friends tuning in from the islands, to Shane Lono and all the crew, of course. Looks like we got Todd Quigley's just tuned in, so doing a little shout out to Tobes and Tezza. How you doing, Toddy? Long time no see, brother.
Ew.
He's a bit of a legend, of course, and Luis Alfonso is tuned in. Kavika Rokamai, of course, the mad little Hawaiian rider. He's also watching the webcast at the moment. So, g'day, you guys, and stoked to, come back down here next year. We'd love to see you, that's for sure.
Kavika is saying Hawaiian clash-ups at cabbage.
Also got Roman Alvarez as watching as well, and Bon Dia Tudubang Roman. He's, of course, the man behind Sintra, and him and Zhao Campos, of course, are the two promoters over there. We're going from Kiama straight to Sintra. Don't forget the entries are open at the moment, and we do have the Sintra Trail that we will be playing throughout the day, Roman, as well, so make sure you keep tuned in to the webcast. But for now, it's a bit of a lull in the action. We're down to 12 minutes remaining. Semi Martino in the lead with a 7.68 and a 6.55. Patrick Orr in second with a 7.9. So Pat's got the best score. Only requires 6.34 to go to first, Toby.
Exactly. So, mate, anyone's game is in priority at the moment, I think. So it's going to be coming down. I mean, 11 minutes on the clock. They've still got plenty of time left as we see the replay here of Sammy's way. Comes in. Nice section. It's kind of hard to always hit a section that's bigger than the wave you're on, which he does here very nicely, but it just doesn't quite stick that landing. Well,
it just got kind of the M zone exploded underneath him there and just bumped Semi off the board, and it was a similar fate for Patrick Orr, who got the wave right behind him. Patrick also sets this one up. Semi's right there in front of him. And he goes, I don't care too much about that. I'm just going to charge it. And in the end, he landed right on top of his little mate from Hawaii. There's Semi there, and him and Patrick had a little cuddle underneath the water. What a classic!
That's where he found the goggles.
Yeah, exactly. No wonder they found them. A big shout out to all of our friends watching from Hawaii. We've got Mike, Caleb Kalama. How you doing, man? And also Marshall Law. Got a whole bunch of Hawaiians tuning in at the moment. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, we've had such great waves for the first 4 days of the competition, so we can't complain. Beautiful weather, fantastic conditions. We would have killed for these waves last year, so Unfortunately, it looks like there's a swell coming on Saturday, but there's a lot of wind with it as well, a real lot of wind. So we had to sit down and think long and hard about, which way to play it. But it's better to wrap the contest up when we know that we're going to have some pretty good conditions. And today we also have the Air Asia Fling for Bling, the tow show. So we wanted to, it's a perfect day for that. The conditions are awesome for it. So we'll have Graham Miller, the man they call Moth, on the ski.
Yeah, that'll be sick. I know Josh Kirkman's pumped and Mitch Rollins too.
Yeah, Mitch.
Probably Tristan Roberts. He had a good stab last year. So yeah, it'd be good to see.
There's a one-footed seagull. You see a lot of that stuff around here, Toby. Where's the other foot go?
In the shark's mouth.
Is it sharks or do you think it's just fish?
I don't know. It could be fishing line.
I mean, it's going to have to be a very precise shark to just nibble the end of the foot off like that.
There's so many though, isn't there?
Nearly every seagull around here has one foot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes life pretty tough on them. They must end up with hip problems when they grow up. So coming down to the wire at the moment.
Here we see at the back, I think it's Sammy on this one. Lining up a nice ramp on the insides, bowling back at him. Big invert, nice landing.
Wow.
Good clean invert there. So we see, as we saw before, Patrick was paddling behind him but missed it. What do you think about that one, Tezza?
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular. Typical semi-Martino, you know what I mean? With a lot of amp in the camp and just, those meerkat-like reflexes working to his advantage again. So very good morning to Matty Menzies. How you doing, buddy? We got Marcy, of course. Colton Crilly is online. Hey, Marcy, how you doing? Yeah, there's roommates. It's so funny, isn't it? These guys are going against each other.
We see Sammy's replay. 59 kilos he is, so that's why he can fly on waves like that. Bang. I don't think it's super high, but it's very clean.
Very different personalities, Patrick Orr and Sammy Martino. Sammy's got a lot of amp in the camp. He's a very hyperactive kind of a kid. And then you got Patrick, who is one of the most laid-back dudes that I've ever met in my life.
He is, isn't he? Here we go. Great angle, this one. Look at that. Perfect silhouette as he goes up to hit it.
Wow, that's a nice little section right there from Sammy. It was a bit bigger than I thought on the front side view, and Sammy just twisting that board around with a perfect landing, and he's going to get a good score for that one.
I think that's pretty. Could be the highest score of the heat, maybe.
Yeah, it is, and you can tell just the way that Sammy's doing like a body claim. I think that, one of those ones where you're just feeling strong.
Like his chest right out, didn't he?
Like when a matador, arches his back and the bull runs through, and he's like, I gotcha.
I think he's got a 7.18 on that one, so that's not his highest score, second highest, but that means Patrick's got to get a 6.97 to get into first place at this stage with 7 minutes and 45 on the clock. Yep, morning
Bronco Harcher, of course. Both Sammy and Pat are roomies staying at Bronco Harcher's house. So that's cool. Good on you, Bronco. Nice, cool name as well too, man. We got Chris Cummings online saying nice one. Jai Burton is watching. Shannon Bates, how you doing, mate? Good to see you the other night. He came along and to the vintage night that we had, of course, after all the legends came along. So coming down to the wire now, just on 7 minutes remaining. So the next heat in the water, of course, will be Pierre-Louis Carstairs taking on Michael Osler. So the world title race is right open here at the moment. Of course, Dudu Pedro got knocked out in that first quarterfinal. So that's going to hurt his world title aspirations. Of course, also in the race at the moment is Pierre-Louis Carstairs. And also we have Sammy Martino. So it looks like Sammy's pretty much on track here. And I tell you what, a good result here. If Sammy won this contest, man, I tell you what, he'd be in a really good position to be the world champion.
He's been on fire, hasn't he? As he gets... is that Patrick there?
Yeah, nice snappy stuff from Pat, just trying to get his mojo back. He maybe just fell into a little hole. I was speaking about rhythm of flying the other day. Here's, of course, Sammy just twisting it up a little on the inside. Sometimes when you're out in the ocean, Tobes, there's a few different forms of rhythm that you can kind of tap into. Yeah. One of them is the waves, just pulsing through, and then you've got your paddling and your kicking and your breathing. I mean, there's so many different beats happening out there at the one time, and I think if you can tap into it, and this is what Sammy Martino does, is he taps into that rhythm of life and he gets in real rhythm with the heat and he just keeps it going. On the flip side, if you sit around too long and wait, they say good things come to those that wait, but not all the time.
Yeah, it's true. So you got to make your own luck, and that's what Sammy does, that's for sure.
Exactly, and he's always got a lot of options as we go to the replay for this one.
Look at this, Patrick Orr lining up a little section. Hits pretty nicely. Perfect little roll there. Great. I love that angle, that silhouette.
It's great, isn't it? Because it really shows the angle of attack of the athlete right against the whitewash there with the glare, and that just makes for a silhouette you can really get a good look at what's happening with the body position, etc. So we're coming down towards the final 5. That last wave score coming through for both Patrick and also for Sammy. This was Sammy Martino on his right-hander into the corner, Toby.
Look at this, lining it up here. Great bottom turn up to the lip. Times it perfectly as he just comes over, does a nice little backflip. Lands very nicely there, but just can't quite hold on to right out of it.
Was that a backflip or an ARS, you reckon? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of think when you look straight back, it's a backflip.
Okay, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's open to interpretation. We'll just call it a flip, maybe.
Yeah, Lee's just flipping out on the end section. So we're down to 5 minutes remaining in this quarterfinal number 2 here at Kiama. So, again, we're very stoked to have you with us on our final day of the competition. As we mentioned, keep those comments coming. Brahim Idoish is just checking in to the webcast. So very good morning to you, Brahim. Looking forward to catching up with you in Sintra in about a week's time. Of course, it's not too far. Very tight turnaround between Australia and Sintra. So some of the crew, I can imagine, will probably change their tickets to try and get to Portugal a little earlier.
I think so they're not stressed out, get a bit of practice, settle into the Portuguese way of life. What a great spot. I love it down there.
Yeah.
So they still have those little like breads in the oven.
The little Portuguese tarts, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are incredible.
So good.
They're so awesome, that's for sure.
They got a good setup down there.
They have indeed. Very good morning. Top of the morning to you, Shane Meehan, one of Ireland's finest. It's very bad Irish accent.
That was good.
Top of the morning to you, Shane.
You need a few more Guinnesses under your belt before you try that one.
Exactly. I tell you what, I might have had a couple with Shane over the years back in the day. Travis Travels is online, and we got Pohaku Kakaulua from Hawaii. Aloha, my friend. Always great to see him tuning in, along with Brandon Weiss. A whole bunch of other people online there, so keep them coming. Jai Stevens and Yannick has just tuned into the webcast as well. How you doing? Good morning, Yannick from Kiama, Australia. We're down to just on 3 minutes remaining for this current heat in the water, so Patrick Orr is in second place and second priority now, chasing a 6.97. It's not out of the question, but Sammy Martino's got the priority, and he's going to use that as a weapon against his little buddy in the red singlet.
Mate, Patrick's, he's on the ropes here. He's a mellow dude, though. I don't think he's going to get stressed out about the whole situation. He's just going to... It's funny that they're actually sitting close to each other. I would just maybe find my own little peak if I was in second priority, but, I guess you don't really have to worry too much if you're Hawaii. Maybe Sammy's just going to give him a wave because he's a good mates, but I doubt that. But yeah, it's funny, A lot of the heats we've seen, the guys are kind of sitting quite far apart. At least, like, one sits in the corner, one sits in the middle. They're both sitting in the middle here, so obviously both looking for the rights as a nice peak comes through.
I know that, we saw it with Diego Cabrera when he was in the final in Antofagasta against Sammy Martino. If you get in Sammy's face, you can rattle him a little bit, and that's exactly what Patrick Orr was trying to do. And wow, that was a high-speed move, but Sammy Martino nosediving on the end of that thing, so he spills his lollies on that last manoeuvre.
So I saw Patrick went left, I think. He did a nice roll. They both did rolls. As we might see the replay, it was kind of, it was good to see them both splitting the peak and be able to sort it out. Okay, I'll go right, you go left. So
okay, we're going to stick with Patrick Orr on the left-hander. Patrick got a nice single manoeuvre there. Beautiful cushioned landing. Timed that lovely with the, the M zone just coming up, and he was able to ride down on that little magic carpet to make it a little easier to land. So we're going to stick with the replay here. Break it down for us, Tobes.
There you go. Pat Orr coming up to the section here. Hits it, comes up. Nice bottom turn. Hits it a bit through the lip, but he gets a nice projection there. Comes down, clean landing.
Good timing.
Good cushion landing there.
Wow.
And,
it was only a simple manoeuvre. We got Pat Caldwell here. This is the guy that invented this manoeuvre, right? So
here's Sammy on that right.
Sammy unfortunately hit this one, and what happened was he just came down a little too straight, and his nose caught there, and he just went straight over the handlebars.
Just taking it easy. He wasn't really worried then, was he? Just kind of relaxed doing that roll. As we see another little right-hander coming up here. Oh, is that the end of the heat?
Wow. No, there's 40 seconds remaining. But priority is with yellow in that situation. So Sammy Martino's coming back to the sand. Semi might have hurt himself, when he did that, that nosedive. He might have cracked himself on the sandbank.
Trying to say, look at these set at the back, will you?
I have no idea why he'd be returning to shore.
Yeah, I can't quite work that out.
Maybe he's just gone, I've got a 7.68, I've got a 7.18, so come and catch me, Patrick, if you can.
Look at this set. Here we see, here's Patrick on the right, he comes in, and then Sammy's just pushing that section down. They don't really affect each other on that wave, so I don't think there's going to be interference or anything like that.
Well, there was no loss of scoring potential for Sammy Martino. It'll be interesting to see the way that the boys see that. But the bottom line is that if you're in a priority heat with two people, don't ride the same wave as the other guy.
No, just don't risk it.
No, because there's too much of drama around it. We're going to just wait and see what Blanchy says here. Just waiting for the... Okay.
Looks like Patrick Orr, one of the scores from the judges here is 7.7, and he needs a 6.97.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be interesting.
Okay. So. Maybe Sammy Martino had a little gut feeling here that he was going to be losing out to his buddy, and that's why he got out of the water early. Let's just stay with this one, you guys. I think it's important that we stick with the result, because we'll catch the emotion of Patrick Orr when this score comes through. Let's just wait and see exactly what happens once the beach announcer Nick Blanche gives them the outcome. Can you see anything on the app there, Toads?
I'm just trying to have a look. It's sort of the score flashed up and then went away. So,
well, that means that the head judges said to someone, "Hey, that's a bit high or that's a bit low or whatever. It's not in the range that it's what the head judge's job is." I tell you what we're going to do. I guess this might take a little while.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it's going to get resolved anytime soon.
We'll throw to a commercial break here, folks, and we're going to come back and give you the outcome of that one. But I hope you're enjoying a final day from Kiama. We're going to be back with more live action from the south coast of New South Wales, Australia, right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Like a bird of prey, Bubble. Raw, undiluted talk, and then and the boulders start rolling towards left and right, all the way to the top.
The 580 Newton meter Amarok V6.
What do you mean we can't show it?
Okay, so welcome back, everybody. It is our final day of the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro at Tez McKenna and Toby Player taking you through what is a great final day of action here on the Grand Slam Tour of the APB World Tour.
How good's this, mate? That was a great matchup, that last heat.
Came down to the wire, and, you know, he needed what was it, a 6.7 something?
6.97 he needed,
yeah,
and he got 6.48.
Yeah, wow.
Super close.
Oh, okay, so Sammy Martino just getting ready to get interviewed. So what happened was his leash came off, and Pat actually got the leash and took it over to the jet ski guy. Oh, that was Sammy who took it over. Oh, okay. Oh, and he handed him priority, so it could have been a real moment in time for Sammy Martino, but he survived. What a classic.
What a legend.
Yeah, that is hot. Okay, so meantime, we got some action in this heat in the water, and wow, that's a pretty spectacular start for the rider in the red singlet, of course, is Pierre-Louis Carstairs. He's taking on Michael Osler. Michael is out there wearing the yellow Guernsey. This is going to be a good matchup, Tobes.
It's going to be a good matchup. See, Pierre, he just starts off so strong each heat. As he comes up, nice little bowl here and just ties it to perfection. Perfect backflip.
Wow.
Look at him go.
I love that angle, like you said, looking from the southern end of the beach back up to the north end where the wedge is. It just gives us a really great perspective, and it looks a lot smaller from the front on angle. But it's not. It's like 2 to 3 feet when the sets are coming through. It's just a little inconsistent. I've just spoken to Alex Leon, of course, our the CEO and our competition director here, and Alex has told me that we'll surf the quarterfinals and then we're going to go on hold, probably for a couple of hours. So what's going to happen is the high tide is in the middle of the day. We're going to come back at around about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we're going to do some moto stuff with the jet ski for Air Asia. We'll have the qualifying rounds of that to get the top 4 guys. We'll come back. After that, we'll have the semi-finals, and we'll have the final for 30 minutes of the Air Asia Fling for Bling, and then we'll have the final of the men's Grand Slam.
Perfect. It seems like the swell is picking up slowly throughout the day, so should be timing it well with the low tide. Can't wait. That's
right. It's supposed to get bigger this afternoon. That's one of the reasons why we want to put it off, and also because the low tide is the go here at the wedge, and it's 5 o'clock low tide today, so we want to try and have the final as close to that as possible.
Good stuff.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so we're just waiting for the thumbs up for the interview there. It was a great clash, wasn't it, between the two flatmates, you know, Sammy and Pat staying together, but I can't imagine there would have been a lot of banter between those two during that one. But we're going to throw it over to Alex Leon, who's talking with the meerkat himself, Sammy Martino. Take it away, Leo.
Yeah, thanks, Tez. I'm down here with that second quarterfinal winner, the meerkat himself, Sammy Martino from Hawaii, mate. Nice little battle there with your fellow roommate, Patrick Orr, and a little quite intense there at the end of that one.
Yeah, you know, we actually had 2 heats together this event. That was our second one, and stoked to come out on top both heats. And yeah, we're actually staying together in the same room right now. We're like sleeping 5 feet away from each other. So it's a good battle, you know. We're trash talking each other all night, but when we get in the water, it's all fun, you know, just who can get the better wave. No priority hassles or nothing, and just kind of messing around in the water. You know, I patted him on the back, splashing water at him and stuff. It's a good vibe, yeah.
It looks like you guys are having fun, and we noticed you grabbed something and gave it to the lifeguard jet ski driver in the water. Was that your leash or something?
Yeah, so I did a roll on the left and kind of got caught up, and the lip must have landed right on my leash plug, and I felt it give a tug, and then the leash string just broke in half. So I had my leash. Luckily, my board didn't come in, so that saved me some time. But in the process of me giving my leash to the guy on the ski, I handed priority over to Patrick Orr. So it was kind of a stupid move on my part, but it ended up playing out for me in the end.
Well, mate, Toby Players here from Bodyboard King, so he sells the best leashes in the world. So we'll get another one for you for the semi-final, so you'll be right there. Now, you're moving into the semi-final. You're going to be taking on, I believe it's probably Dave Winchester. So it's going to be a pretty, I have to double-check that, but I think it is. Yep, it's Dave Winchester, so it's going to be an intense semi-final this afternoon, mate. Your world title dream is still alive. You're in this event. Pierre's also in the event still. He's up now, so it's going to go down to the wire, mate. It's going to be a really, really good finish in Fonton, I think.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Really excited.
Well, good luck. You want to say shout out to anyone in Hawaii?
Yeah, just shout out to my dad, Sam Brown. You know, he's always watching, supporting. Really big fan of the sport, and just all my sponsors and friends back home. Just thank all you guys for the support and keep tuning in later for the semis.
Sick. Well, all the Hawaiians, you got one boy in the semi-finals, so get behind him, and that's it, Sammy Martino. You'll see him in the semi-final. Back to you guys.
So it looks like okay. Now the microphones are on. Thank you very much, Alex Leon. Great interview there. Sammy Martino is into the semi-finals.
As we see, Michael Osler coming through on this one. He's looking for a bit of a ramp, the big fella. He's got those rolls down pat, doesn't he? Another one.
Yeah, very powerful bloke, this Michael Osler. He's a real kind of an athlete. Pierre-Louis Carstairs opened up with a 7.0 on his opening wave. Michael Osler dropped to 4.12. Only needed a 2.89 to go into the lead, Toby. That's probably going to be enough to get him there.
Could be. As we see, look at this one coming through. Pierre's paddling out the back. Looks a nice wedge. We can get some camera on this. Look at that. In the right spot too.
Yeah, so Pierre-Louis Carstairs, ooh, that one just sectioned off on him, but it gives you a bit of an indication as the fact that we got some waves here. It's only it's a lot smaller today, but it's still really tasty and super contestable.
Exactly. So it's a bit of a battle. Like Michael Osler's probably got another 20 to 30 kilos on Pierre, I think, and probably 6 inches in height. So he's it's going to be a tough battle in these conditions for him. But as we see Pierre take off here, he's trying to get the speed over the top of the wedge here as he comes flying through that bowl. Nice little roll there. And a quick spin, and then he's looking for another section coming down the line. As the wedge comes across again, he does another roll, looking for another one. So there you go. Pretty high score. He's caught right in the corner here. He's probably got like 3/4 of the way across the beach there on that wave. So yeah, it's going to be a good score. He's got to get better a 0.48. So I think he's done that. It looks like Michael Osler, other score come through. So at this stage, Michael Osler needs a 3.37 to get through. It'll be interesting to see what their scores are. But, yeah, as I said, here's that replay here. Pierre, he's got both hands on the front here. He's kind of just trying to get across the top of that wedge on the other side of it. As he, look at that, he's just got the speed trim. As he comes over the top of the wedge there, comes in focus too.
Yeah,
and then,
that was cool the way that it all came into focus like that.
Then he comes flying through the bowl. He's looking for a ramp. Normally, I guess he's looking for a flip here, but section just doesn't quite present itself like that. And he does a nice, clean roll there.
How precise is this guy? It's unbelievable. Even though bottom turn was just like inches in front of the lip line, the way that he timed it just so perfectly.
He's got it going on, doesn't he?
Yeah, crosses the legs, does a little spin at the end of that one. So we'll get that scoring for Pierre, but he's on a real tear at the moment. There's no doubt about that. He can smell that world title at the end of the year at Fronton.
Yeah, it's a true story. And, he's in form. He's coming off the back of his movie premiere. He's got a lot of confidence. Everyone's just, seen that and going, wow, he's probably the best bodybuilder in the world at the moment, or one of them. And he's riding high on that, and he's riding really well in this comp too. He's just been doing the most perfect flips on, just got him down. Just can pull him out of his bag of tricks at any time. So, yeah, it looks like that last one he only got a 4.5 because it was, not such a big wave, though he did ride it a long way across with 3 rolls and a spin. Michael Osler at this stage looking for a 7.39 to get into first. So, that's totally achievable. I think his strategy here would be maybe wait for a bigger wave and do a bigger move because he can't really compete against PLC on the mid-size sort of ones. PLC's got those flips down and that tight pocket surfing too.
Yeah, and very interesting stuff. Very good morning to Juan Santos, the Hurricane Category 5. He's over there in Portugal, of course, one of our beach commentators on the World Tour. So very good morning/evening to Juan, whatever time it is over there in Portugal.
We see Pierre get another one, sitting a bit wider here. Another sweet little roll.
Seems to be a good strategy, Tobes. There goes Pierre on that last manoeuvre, just punching that sweet little move off at the end. He's ended up in the southern corner. He's virtually right up in the rocks there,
and still going.
He's still trying to milk that thing for all it's worth. How much of a grommet amp was that right on the end section?
Getting his grovel right on.
That's a classic. He had the wave cow by all 4 rudders, and he milked it to the beach.
So yeah, he's pretty much in the southern corner there. He's going to get the rip back out, and I'd say he's probably like 150 metres away from where Michael Osler's now sitting after that. It was a long ride.
So there's the replay. Lovely opening manoeuvre there, just keeping the forward momentum going. Looking for a little something on the inside. You can see him just readjusting the rail. And again, this that view there. Look at the way that he leans forward and gets that extra speed just before he busts that manoeuvre. And he stayed with this one right the way through. This is classic PLC. Absolutely, all the way through. A little tiny mini check turn here. And watch how much amp is in the camp on this one. Look, he's fired up. Boom, boom. And a
couple little pumps.
Little floppo onto the shore. That's an all-time PLC right there. So it's around about 1:15 in the morning in Portugal. So we've got some Portuguese people locked into the webcast, enjoying the action. Like that guy's enjoying his day here at the beach at Kiama. Little local dog, of course. That's Matty, one of the guys on the work crew. That's his dog. We've been hanging out with that guy. Here we go. Looks like he's found a little something in the sand. Pierre-Louis Carstairs dropping a 5.42 on that one. So now Michael Osler in second, chasing an 8.31. So Pierre's starting to tighten the screws on the South African.
Exactly. That's what he does. He loves to get up these scores and just keeps chipping away, Pierre. He's always getting busy and just getting these scoring waves. They're only sort of mid-sized waves, but that just puts him in a position so later in the heat he can just wait for a set and just stamp his authority on the other competitor. So, yeah, he's doing well, and the strategies work well for him in the past. But I'm sure Michael Osler's just going to be sitting out there waiting for a bigger set. They are coming through 2 or 3 every heat, so if he keeps waiting, one should pop up in the next 16 or so.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that's a beautiful little side, isn't it? But there's no waves coming through. So with that said, we are going to pay some bills and run a commercial break. And we'll be back in just under a minute from now, folks, here in Kiama for the final day of the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. And welcome back, everyone. Tez McKenna here, and Toby Player, of course, taking you through this final day of the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. It's Grand Slam event number 4 of 5. Of course, we'll be going to Fronton. Can't wait to get back to Gran Canaria and see all my old friends from the old days back in the when we used to have the competition, of course, back in the IBA days of the Confital. I almost forgot what it was. Yeah, how could I forget that? It's just some of the most epic memories of bodyboarding ever. There's a little biplane just making a little flyby. We've got, of course, Shell Harbour Airport is not too far from here, so we get a lot of aviation flying above us all the time. There's the Norfolk Pines. They're a real feature on the south coast here, folks, and as we said, just a beautiful green rolling hills and a magnificent part of the world here in Kiama. So thank you very much to Kiama Shire Council, to Destination Kiama, and everybody that's been involved with the competition this year. It's been a real special one, that's for sure. So Kiama, of course, consists of Gerringong, Jiroa, Jamberoo, Minamara, and Bombo. They're all pretty much right along the coastline. Beautiful little part of the world it is. There's the sporting field, of course, up the top there, and over where you can see that lighthouse there, of course, just a little down from that is the blowhole, and of course the blowhole was formed millions of years ago. As we see, is that Toby's phone? Not exactly sure where that music is coming from, but maybe it's the primary school. Where's that music coming from? Is it the primary school? Okay, that's the lunch bell for the little primary school that's next door to us here. What a classic. So Toby just went and made us a cup of coffees. Welcome back, mate. It's coffee and commentary go together like a pie and sauce.
They do, don't they? Got this Stojo cup out. Loving it.
That's so good. Thanks again to Stojo. As we mentioned, the collapsible cups are saving Mother Nature one coffee cup at a time. You know, we worked it out, Tobes, that we're going to save around 3,000 coffee cups at this contest just by the staff and the competitors using Stojo.
So good. What an innovation.
Yeah, super cool, hey? As we see Michael Osler, a very powerful South African. Again, that extension on the rolls is a real hallmark of this guy's riding.
Look at that. Second roll there. So, yeah, that's a nice wave. And that's just, you know, I think he's going to be struggling to get anything more than rolls out there unless it's a big section. As we see PLC coming up and a big flip right in front of Michael Osler there too, which has got to hurt. You see him paddling back out, and he's pretty much rides right over the top of him.
How good is that? It's just one way to demoralise the opposition, isn't it? This is Osler here just driving it up and through. And again, look, Michael's a real powerful guy. Have a look at those big arms just punching the board through the lip of the wave there. So some pretty radical angle of attack there from Michael Osler. And he gets up late on this one. You can see him just, again, keeping that bottom turn super tight. Pulls in, waits for the little tube to come over him, and then he pushes up and over again. So great technique there from Osler.
Mate, he did well. 2 rolls on the one wave. Big set wave too, and then PLC, as you see in the background, you might see him there. Osler just ducks out of that one. So, yeah, back-to-back. Plenty of waves coming through here, which is great to see. The 2 guys in the water with half-an-hour heats. As we see Pierre just stroking behind. There he is. Perfect camera angle there, just capturing both waves.
Wow. That's a lovely wave. That's a good 3-footer right there for PLC when he gets to the bottom of this one as he sets up a little something. Again, just zeroes in on that end section. You can see him just zeroing in on the spot that he wants to hit that one. And again, up and over, and he makes that just look so easy, Toby.
Mate, that's what he does all day, every day, isn't it? Bread and butter for him. He's got 8.12 out of that one, so that's his highest score of the heat, that one. As we're waiting for Michael Osler's wave to drop, which
I think it'll be mixed best wave as well. That those 2 kind of pretty wild rolls. I mean, it's just the old roll is a pretty standard manoeuvre in bodyboarding. But when it's done properly, it can net you some scores. 6.3 for Michael Osler. So right now, Michael in second, chasing an 8.83 to catch Pierre-Louis Carstairs. But I tell you what, you don't want to give this guy too much room to move because he'll put you in combo land in no time at all.
Big time, mate. So, yeah, Pierre's got 8.12 and a 7, so well ahead at the moment. He's going to be hard to beat. 10 minutes and 30 on the clock or so.
So we've got Ruth Pinito, of course, checking in. That is Pierre's lovely wife. So a very good morning to you, Ruth. And, of course, to the family back there in Portugal. Look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Adam Morley, of course, a former competitor on the IBA World Tour from South Africa. Tuned in. Hey, Adam. How you doing, buddy? Simon Cassidy is tuned in along with Ryan O'Connor and James Neymeyer, a bit of a underground Newcastle charger.
Mate, boxy.
Yeah.
Loves boxy.
He the boxy, man.
And who's in the next heat out here, Tezza?
Next heat's going to be a real cracker, mate. We've got some great talent coming your way, so don't go anywhere, folks. The final heat of the quarterfinals will be Eda, Luciano, and your brother, Ben Player.
Oh, tough one. I know when Ben saw the conditions today, he was like, it's going to be hard to beat Eda. He was stressing because the big man can't fly. But, Ben's got it. He's got his flips on Pat. He can just pull him out of the bag too.
The thing is that Ben is, a multiple world champion. Eda hasn't won a world championship.
Yeah.
So you don't become a world champion for nothing. So I think Ben's still got the skills to do it. But it's gonna take good wave selection.
Exactly. That's what it's going to come down to. I think good wave selection, wait for the biggest waves, critical sections. Maybe a few barrels. We haven't seen many barrels in this heat. Winnie got that really long one before.
No, that's right.
I scored that pretty highly. So.
Absolutely. So we can't wait for that one. That'll be quarterfinal number 4. Just for now, though, it looks like we've got a little break in the action. No waves coming through. Again, we're going to pay some bills. I'll be back with more action from Kiama after this short commercial break. Stay with us. And a very good morning to you, folks. It is here in Kiama, New South Wales, Australia, as we wrap up Grand Slam number 4 on the APB World Tour. Terry McKenna, Tezza McKenna, of course, along with Toby Player. And Tobes, what a beautiful way to wrap up the competition.
Mate, so good. It's all happening here. Waves pretty good. 2 to 3 foot range, some good ramps. PLC's making it look really good with his flips. Michael Osler's got some good waves too. Still a little bit behind on the point score. Needs 8.83. And, yeah, I'm stoked. What a great day down here at Kiama. We got beautiful weather. It's just such a great spot to be. They've got the farmers market down here later on today, so it'd be good to check that out. Have you seen that before?
Oh, absolutely. It's unreal. And it's a produce market as well. So it's all the local farmers and stuff selling all the healthy stuff. It's going to be awesome. They've got live music in the park, and we're going to wrap the competition up this afternoon to coincide with that, because we've got a 5 o'clock low tide. So more than likely scenario, folks, is that we'll stop at quarterfinal, at the end of quarterfinal number 4. We'll go and hold for a couple of hours so you can go away and come back. You'll get a notification on Facebook to say that we're live again. That'll be your warning to let you know to come back to the webcast. It's not an ideal situation, Tobes. I don't like to, segment the day like that, but it's just it's going to work out for the best, because we want to get the best conditions for the final this afternoon.
Exactly, and if you're watching, you might be able to get some work done, so keep your job.
Exactly.
Just cram it all into 2 hours and then take the rest of the arvo off.
That's how you do it. Jay Stone is online saying, hey, Tobes, you know that Benny has it. They're always out at Whaley. Like on a day like this, Benny can pop those little flips on the smaller waves. No problemo.
Never in doubt, mate. I agree with you. So, he was just... that was in the back of his mind, which will make him try harder. So
absolutely. Guy Willerman also online. Thank you, champion. And we
got
G-Funk. Sammy Verbanik, I think it is online, along with Rodrigo Rijo, also just tuning into the webcast. Buenos dias, muchachos, amigos, señores. Muchas gracias for checking out the webcast here. To our Spanish audience that are tuned in as well today, mi nombre es Tezza McKenna. Mi amigo is Toby Player. Toby Player.
Mate, you've got it all.
Only poquito
so many
Spanish.
Languages, great commentary.
I'm trying to learn Spanish, because you know why? I have to learn Spanish if I'm going to work on this tour, because out of respect for the fact that the epicenter of bodyboarding is now in Chile and South America in general. So we're working with a lot of Spanish speaking people. That most of those people speak English, but most of us don't speak Spanish.
True, yeah.
We're on an island in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's been weird, but it's embarrassing sometimes when you travel, Toby.
It is pretty embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah, because, you work with European people who can speak 4 and 5 languages fluently. And here we are stuck on this island in the middle of nowhere. We can't even speak English properly.
We can't even speak Australian properly.
Exactly. What a classic. We're down to 5 minutes remaining. So PLC tightens the screws on Michael Osler, the South African, chasing an 8.83 to try and get out of trouble on this one. But there's the wedge. You can see the swell as it makes its way into the corner there, Toby, just shuffles up onto that angled point break. It sends that little side wash back through the break and connects with the next swell, and that creates those epic little pyramids that just pop up from time to time.
So good. I was out there this morning. You could just see the side wedge coming across. With the lower tide, you could actually get them from the corner a lot more. You can see the guys on that camera, they're sitting a little bit further away from the rocks. As the high tide, you've got to sit a bit further in. But, yeah, it's a great wave. Usually the second wave of the set will have the biggest wedge, and that's the one you've got to look for, especially if it's a bit bigger, it breaks further out in the blue water. You don't want those white water ones. So, mate, it's just a great location. Such a sick little beach. And stoked to be back here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we came from Arica, where there's not even a single blade of grass anywhere in the city, apart from the stuff that they water 5 times a day, because of course it's on the edge of the Atacama Desert, and it's such a unique and incredible landscape. But yeah, for sure, here it's the exact opposite. We've got these beautiful green rolling hills, and it really is a beautiful piece of Australiana. If you come to Australia, you must come to Kiama and check this place out. So we're coming down to the wire now, and Michael Osler is in second place and second priority, Toby, so he's hurting for a good one.
Mate, he's playing the patience game, though. He's sitting in the corner. He's got 3 minutes and 22 on the clock. He's just looking for one of those big lefts. I think that's his strategy. He just wants to... He's got to get 8.83, so he's got to wait for the biggest wave, really, that's come through to get that, I think.
Don't forget, we got the Air Asia Fling for Bling coming up later on today, around about just after lunchtime. We're going to be webcasting it. It's going to be pretty spectacular to watch. It'll be 1 hour of just flinging going on. The top 4 people will be nominated to go into the final, which will take place before the men's final, in between the semis and the men's.
It's going to be good to see. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a big air contest, basically, using the jet skis to fling the kids into the waves. It's going to be epic stuff. All thanks to our friends at Air Asia. Of course, they won the Skytrax world's best low-cost airline 11 years in a row. All right, looks like we've got a wave here. Michael Osler is going to have to kick out of that one. Pierre's used the priority. Pierre's got a nice little run through the inside here, Toby, and he flips on that end section.
Mate, look at that. So smooth. Straight into another spin. As we see, Michael's just paddled that one. Didn't want
I tell you what, the one behind it for Osler has a real nice... Oh, no, it's not going to happen.
And there's one behind that, though.
There is another one behind it. So Michael may indeed get himself a lovely little wave here. Let's wait and see what happens. But for now, of course, we're just checking out the break here. Here's a little replay of that last wave for... that was Michael pulling back because there's PLC with the priority, Toby.
PLC just like pulling it out and then bang. Nice flip again and then straight into a spin. Look at this. Just taking it super easy. Legs crossed. Mate, what style? He's got it all.
It's like a walk in the park, isn't it? And he's, you know what, you can tell he's got a lot of petrol in the tank. He's not going to show the judges everything. He's going to wait until he gets to the semis and the final before he goes, into the real technical riding mode. This is a nice little super slow-mo replay of PLC, as we mentioned, one of the world's best. Don't forget to check out his movie. Tender is playing all around the world. I believe the next stop down will be in France. He's got 2 premieres over there where he'll be showcasing the movie, so don't miss it. It's a great flick.
Such a good movie. I love that. It's and it's got the book too that comes with it, so the book's amazing. You can actually buy that online at the moment, so check it out. There's PLC just doing a perfect flip again.
Wow.
Look at that, legs crossed, and then just almost keeps them, he straightens them out for a second, and then just, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Look at that style.
How is that, eh? What a classic. That's all time. Pierre's gone into kind of like Gromit mode in his heat, hasn't he? I'm loving it.
He has, actually.
He's really embracing the beach breaks here after we've come out of the heavy reef breaks of Chile and of course those big beach breaks in Itacoatiara in Brazil. So just moments remaining now. That's going to really make life pretty tough on Michael Osler. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mickey go into combo land.
But you know what? There's one out the back. Look at that thing.
Oh, my
Standing
goodness.
up.
Okay, so it looks like we've got a wave approaching, and this is going to have a beautiful shape to it as well, Toby.
So he needs an 8.83, and here comes one right on the buzzer pretty much.
Tell you what.
10 seconds to go.
Okay, so Michael Osler's into this one from South Africa. Tobes, take it away.
He's just trimming. He's going for the high-speed trim here, waiting for a bit of speed. He's going to line up the barrel or the ramp. Bang. Nice ARS there. Pretty clean. Is he going to get an 8.83 though? What do you reckon, Tess?
Nah. It's unfortunately the end of that one went a bit soft on him, but I mean it was a beautiful execution from Osler. As we mentioned, chasing 8.83 after Pierre-Louis Carstairs has had an 8.12 and a 7.0. So there's Pierre, a little bit of victory lap walking up the beach there. We'll keep an eye on that stacked up, Tobes, and we'll find out what Osler got for that last wave. But prior to that, his low score was a 4.12. Okay, 5.81, so it's not enough, and it looks like it will be Pierre-Louis Carstairs that will go into semi-final number 2. We got some great matchups coming, and of course we'll go into the last of our quarterfinals coming up. Next, folks, we'll go into quarterfinal number 4 with former world champion Ben Player from Avalon in Sydney, Australia, taking on Luciano from Brazil. It's going to be a great one.
Go, Benny.
Okay, so there we go. That's a wrap on it. Quarterfinal number 3 is in the bag. Thank you very much to Kiama Council and all of our sponsors. I believe we will throw to a commercial break right now, folks. And Tezza and Tobes will be back with more high-octane bodyboarding right after this. Don't go anywhere.
caught him with his Spanish maid. He had a lighter with a can of spray, burning her leg. She tied to the bed, sex S&M. Sadomasochistic, sadistic. Yoked him from behind, blew him out existence. His maid cried no, she lucky she was blindfold. Naked with mad burn marks all on her thighs, yo. 12.5 million. He kept his funds in the Lloyds of London. Goes to his wife and his children. Yo, I thought, what a shorty get scared. Electric chairs, all our vision. Also probably the psychiatric.
Like a bird of prey, Bubble. Raw, undiluted talk, and then and the boulders start rolling towards left and right, all the way to the top.
The 590 Newton meter Amarok V6.
What do you mean we can't show it?
And a very good morning to you folks. Welcome back to Kiama. Tez McKenna and Toby Player taking you through what is our final day of this Grand Slam event here on the south coast of New South Wales. This is a didgeridoo, of course. We want to thank the Wadi Wadi and the Darwal people, of course, the local Indigenous people whose land we are on here, and we want to show our respect and to their elders past, present and emerging. Very important, Tobes, isn't it?
Exactly, mate.
Also, don't forget that Bodyboard King has a discount code that you can use to save money. What's that code, Tobes?
Kiama 15, so check it out, bodyboardking.com. Today's the last day because we're supporting the comp, so rip in while you can.
Rip in, kiddies. Hey, talking about ripping in, Ben plays against Luciano. Let's go out into the lineup and check this one out. We got some pretty incredible action coming your way here today. It's only smaller, but we got some great waves up for grabs. And Luciano took an early wave here. It looked like it was going to be a good one, but it didn't really eventuate into too much. Just going to check the score on that one. Of course, it was, here's the replay of Luciano as he, you can see him just taking that wave from Benny. It looked like it was going to be a really nice one, but it shut down and Eder ended up with a very small score. So at the moment, that's the situation. No waves coming through. We might throw it over to Alex Leon, who's speaking with the winner of the previous heat. It's PLC. Take it away, Leo.
Yeah, thanks, Tez and Toby. I'm here with Pierre-Louis Carstairs from France. Sensational heat again, mate. A few backflips there and took out the South African Michael Osler. How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels good to progress because it's a pretty crucial event and yeah, I mean, like the possibility of like doing well in this comp is still alive, so yeah, pretty happy.
And it looks like you'll be taking on the winner of this quarterfinal. It's in the water now, so we've already got our first semi-final stacked up, which is going to be pretty cool with Winnie and Sammy. Yep. So you'll be moving into the second semi-final. Just talk through the conditions this morning. It's dropped a bit from yesterday, yeah?
Yeah, it dropped a little bit, and but it's still wedgy. I think the banks are pretty good, and when the set comes, it's pretty fun. Like you can like fully take off like behind the peak and get some speed. But yeah, I mean like, overall and with the tide now it's a little bit trickier. But I think probably a really good decision to put it on hold for this afternoon because I think we can have some great condition later on.
Yeah, so it's the low tide's at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Okay. So and we've got a little pulse and swell coming. So hopefully it picks up a little bit for you guys.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, finger crossed.
You want to say a shout out to family back home in France or Portugal?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the most, big kisses to my wife and my little boy watching the event. Actually, probably sleeping, but yeah, huge thanks to like all the support, and yeah, I'm just happy to be still in the event.
And you had your movie premiere on last Friday. How'd that go?
Yeah, that went pretty amazing. I mean, it was 3 years of intense work, and to see it all come down like to that one premiere, and see all those bodyboarders from like across so many different generations being there to watch, like being together, you know, for an event. It was very special and very emotional, to be honest.
Yeah, you had guys like Eppo, you know, Bullet, you know, just old school guys and legends of our sport. Mike Stewart, Pat Caldwell, Wingnut. It must have been pretty good to have, to see all those guys there to watch, you know, the movie that you've created.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that was, I think, that was the best part about this for me, like, to have just so many different people from like the industry to the guys that actually films and shoot, to like all my peers, all my idols, all my people from the new generation. Like, you know, like you go from Tanner to Wignut, you go from Tristan to Eppo, and just that was honestly the best part for me, and that's what is probably going to push me to just create as many premieres as possible, because I think that's what we need. I mean, just join people together.
And where can, for the fans out there, where can they purchase your movie?
So the Australian premiere is done, and I'm gonna move to Europe now, and we're gonna do about 4 to 6 premiere, and the next one will be at home at Osler on 20th of September, and then just gonna try to make maybe one in. Actually gonna do one in Portugal, Canaries, and hopefully I can go overseas and maybe go to California, Tahiti, and all the places that that wants to have the premiere. I'm just gonna try to work on it.
Well, there you go, the Tender World Tour. It's pretty sensational, and everyone's raved about the movie here in Australia.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Movement Magazine helped me a lot with this project, and the movie will be available with Movement Magazine later on this year.
And you got a book to accompany the movie, I believe.
Yeah. So the book is already available, but the movie only going to be available once we go online.
Okay, and now the big question.
Yes.
Can you win the world title again this year?
I mean, I know I'm in contention, but it's something that I try not to think too much. Like, I mean, I know I'm in contention, so it's the possibility is here, but it's a lot of work. I mean, this year has just been so different from like the last few years. I mean, I'm already like, I'm 29. I'm not saying I'm old, but I'm already fighting against a new generation. You know, like Tammy, Tanner, and Tristan are all like around 20, 21. And they're the guys in contention. So it's pretty funny that I went from like the one being 21 years old fighting my idols to fighting my peers to now fighting the new generation. So it was very special to actually win this title against against the new generation.
Well, coming off the back of Arica, that must have given you, inspired you a bit more that, hey, I can still do this.
Yeah. I mean, like waves like Arica is I mean, make our sport look incredible, and I realize the experience is so important there. Like now I feel a little bit more confident there. Like it's been like almost like 13 years that I go to Arica, and obviously like that final with Tanner was like something really special. I mean, I know the opportunities to make finals. We obviously lose way more than we win. Like we don't make that many final events, and once we do and we actually win in a really good battle, it just makes it so special. So no matter what happened this year, I mean, like I had an incredible time, and that win at Arica is definitely a highlight.
Yeah, well, it was a sensational final to watch too from here, and all our fans loved it. So good luck into the semi-finals this afternoon, Pierre, and continue this good run.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, back to you guys. Thanks for the long-awaited interview. Cheers.
Okay, thank you very much. Interesting stuff there with Alex Leon and PLC. I tell you what, Toby, Pierre can smell that world title. It's just around the corner, that next one for him, isn't it?
It is, mate. And it's funny that you said about the younger generation and all that. So I'm a lot older, so I think of him as the younger generation, but it's true. There's a lot of younger guys coming up below him. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's great, good to see. That's the depth of our sport, and guys like Sammy and Tanner and that, they're just so hungry. It's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, you got guys like Jeff and Ben and guys in their 40s, and then you got, of course, Mike Stewart, who's in his mid to late 50s, still doing the tour and still competitive, particularly in waves of consequence. Not so much on these little beach breaks here at Kiama. So, as the tour moves to the more radical locations, like the waves like Fronton and Arica, there's a bit of longevity in pro bodyboarding these days. You can stick around for a while.
Exactly, and that's kind of it, When it comes down to those heavy waves, it's more wave knowledge over ability sometimes, because you've got to pick the best waves. That comes down to all kinds of surfing. As we see some good waves coming in here, Ben Player's just putting the speed on. Look at this, he's trying to get right under Edda, not sure who's in priority here.
Priority is with Edda, so Edda's going to use it on this first one, and he's going to... actually, this is Benny on the first one.
Kind of snuck that in under the Edda's priority.
He might get something on the end section here, and he's going to get a little ramp, and he's going to flip on that end section. Meantime, it's Edda Luciano is on a wave right behind him. Edda gets a little cover up, and he's going to push through another little shampoo on the way through on that one.
So, yeah, that's that was a good little exchange. I mean, Ben sort of had to get around that section. He did pretty well in the end to do a flip. It wasn't a super clean landing. See how the judges score that. Edda's only got a 5.07. As we see that replay, Ben coming around that section, and he's just looking for it, waiting, and it kind of bowls up here on the inside.
Yeah, he wanted to get that one quality manoeuvre, and there it is there. He just goes up and over, and did he ride out of this one pretty cleanly?
He sort of made it not super clean, as we see Edda on the one behind. He sort of gets a little cover up.
A little cover up just there, kind of just a little shampoo, and then here he kind of forces it and just puts his head into the lift. So that second little cover up's not going to be worth much. He kicks out of that one quickly as well.
So, yeah, sort of at the moment with the tide coming up, you can really see the waves crumbling down a fair bit, and that's kind of why we're going to go and hold up to this just to wait for that tide to sort of kick back in.
Yeah, and we've got a rising swell this afternoon. They said after 12 o'clock, the swell would go from 1 to 1.3 to 1.4 metres, so almost half as big again. Another foot out there, another 2 feet out there make a real difference, Toby.
Exactly, and with the wedges coming more off the corner too, it'll be more ramps and more sections. As we see Ben sneaking into a quick ride on the way back out, little cover up.
Okay, so BP again just rolling out of the end section there, getting a nice little combo on that one for Benny Player. 3.95 was his previous wave, and Edda Luciano with a 3.75 on the way behind him. So Benny did get the better of the exchange there, but he's still got some work to do, needing a 4.88. That's prior to that last wave. Scores haven't come through for that one. Here's the replay, Toby. Take us through it.
He's just paddled back out, snuck into this one. It's always, you see a lot of guys do this, as he just milks it on the start, trying to stall for the little cover up there. Nice little barrel. He actually backdoors that, and good roll, good exit.
He might go close to the 4.88. It was only a little inside wave. Here's the angle here. This will give us a better indication as to how barrel he got on this. He disappeared behind the curtain on that first little section. Then he came out, and he, like you said, he kind of backdoored that second bit. So that was actually a pretty legit little barrel there. And there goes the board bursting through the lip there as the 3-time world champion Benny Player rides out of that one with a roll. So that's, I got a feeling that might be enough to take the lead.
So need 4.88. So let's see what happens. Few scores coming through. 4.3. So you know, it's still going to better his second wave at this stage. So we've got 14 minutes left on the clock.
Okay.
Get on that break.
It's going to be very, very close. Okay, so we got a little break standing by. That score comes in for Benny Player. 4.70, not enough. He's needed a 4.88. We're going to throw to a commercial break and pay a couple of bills. Don't go anywhere, folks. More live action from Kiama right after this. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. It is it's our final day of the Kiama Bodyboard King. Tez McKenna and Toby Player nursing you through the morning here, and we just saw a pretty cool wave from your brother Ben Player.
Exactly, that's why we're a bit distracted as we came back from the break, but hopefully we can get a replay of that one. Look at him.
Yeah, here it is here. This might be the number that he was looking for. So BP got a little flip on the end section of this one, Toby.
Look at this. He's just getting the speed up, waiting, hoping for a section, and he just comes flying through this bowl and just whacks it. Boom, nice backflip. Pretty clean exit, and yeah, he's going to be happy with that one.
I got a feeling that's going to turn the heat for Benny. So prior to that, Luciano got the better of the exchanges in the first half.
Here we see Ben. He actually didn't even have priority. He was in the corner, though, and just snuck this little wedge across. So
and riding nice and high, which is a good thing to do on a small day because it allows you to drop down and slowly bottom turn as he goes up into the lip. And have a look at this. It's a really nice flip here from Ben. It's just a textbook manoeuvre right there.
Pretty nice move. Great style there. Great landing. So I think the judges will like that one, actually. Not a big wave, but look at the scores coming through here. 5.88 he's got, so he's gone into first with that one.
Yep, so that is a big old change right there. So priority is with Luciano. Second priority, Ben Player. Ben has taken the lead with a 5.88. Now looking to upgrade a 4.7 on his low score. Luciano requires 5.52 to take back the lead. So game on, Toby.
Game on, mate. I mean, both these guys are really good at lefts. Ben loves the left wedge. His home break, Wild Beach, is very similar to this. So he'd have a bit of not local knowledge, but a fair bit of knowledge. So pretty good matchup.
Yeah, you betcha. Big shout out to, of course, the man himself, Manny Vargas. Manny V tuning into the webcast. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
just
Manny.
having a little sneak around. Of course, it's big shoes to fill when Manny V's not at the contest.
Exactly, mate. I'm trying my best, mate.
You're doing great, mate, and we're all trying our best. But I mean, trying is the proper word here when you haven't got Manny Vargas around, because no one's going to be doing the sort of job that he does. He'll be in front on to wrap up the world title in come October. As we go to live action now, Luciano on the right-hander.
Look at him coming into a nice little bowl here. Does a flip, but just not a very clean landing.
No, he couldn't finish that one off. Behind him is Benny Player stroking into this one. BP sets it up and doesn't like the look of it.
I think Ben just tapped out then, realising he could regain priority. So
he made an instant decision. He looked at the quality of the wave, and then he looked at where Edda was, and he thought, you know what? What's more important, getting priority on this guy or getting this crappy little wave? And he made a good call by getting off that one pretty quickly.
I think so. Let's see the replay of Edda. I think you can see Ben was paddling for it, sort of almost trying to sell him it. So it'd be good to see a replay of that. It was a nice flip, just didn't quite land it smoothly and came off the back. Got
a little message through from Manny. He says he loves us.
Yeah, Manny.
Good on you, champion.
Always good times with Manny. Here we go.
I shared a room with him right throughout the South American leg. We had so much fun. He said to me a couple of times, he goes, Tezra, if we had a TV crew that followed you around, man, it would be like a documentary that would just sell out, you know. There's so much stuff going on over there. It was incredible, in and out of the water.
I bet.
All the politics that happen behind the scene. And, you know, I'm kind of like a psychologist for some of the athletes that are, you know, struggling with those long legs and stuff. You know, they haven't got their dads there, so I'm the closest thing to a dad, you know. So everyone comes and cries on my shoulder and stuff. And it's
true.
Yeah, it's a good job. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. All right, so we're down to, what do we got? Here's a little replay. This is the replay of Luciano. I think the angle was a little wrong on this one. He just went up, and you could see him just come down a little late. He sort of landed on top of the wave, and he was unable to ride out in front of it. So incomplete wave there for Luciano. He'll be still trying to find that score, so he needs a 5.52 to go into the lead. Benny Player, the three-time world champion, got him on the ropes at the moment. Not really on the ropes because... you know, 5.52 is not much of a score for someone of Edda's calibre. But Ben Player, BP needing to upgrade to 4.7. It's priority yellow, second priority red. We've got 8 minutes to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ben will be stoked because, as I said before, he was a bit worried about coming up against Edda in this because he knows how good he is in small waves. So for him to be in the lead right now, it's going to be a bit of a psychological advantage for him. So he's probably... Pretty stoked. As we see a little right-hander brewing up in the middle of the beach, they're sort of paddling that way. Ben's got priority, but Edda's a bit deeper. Ben just might let him go this.
Okay, Edda's going to get a little tapered wall on this one. It's going to give him an opportunity. He's up and riding on this one, Toby. Take us through it.
He's looking at this, double hands on the front, looking for a bit of speed on the section. It's got a nice little bowl here, actually. Nice flip. And he's looking for another roll or something.
Yeah.
Nice little roll.
That was a bad move. BP letting him take that wave. Edda really is going to punish him with that score. I think he's going to get the 5.52 pretty easy.
I think so. I mean, Ben was kind of a little bit wide for it. He could have just enforced his priority, but he's let Edda sneak in, and he's really taken advantage of it. Look at this.
Here's the APB replay of Luciano. Two hands on the front there. Now he readjusted. You can see him just engaging that inside rail, and then he goes up and over And then he hasn't finished with it as yet. He goes onto that inside section, kicks his way to get a bit more speed, and then he rolls in it with a nice extension. That's going to be a situation change, I feel. But BP's out there waiting for something special. I mean, that right-hander wasn't a special wave. It was just a right-hander. But these lefts that come through, the big ones in the corner, they're special. So, I think the BP, whilst he might have surrendered the lead, he's got himself in a position where he's going to be, in a priority one, and he'll be able to pick the eyes out of what's left with 6.5 minutes to go.
So, yeah, I think the judges are waiting, replaying that wave over and over to see what score they're going to give it, because they know it's going to really affect the standings in the end. So, waiting for that score to drop from Edda.
There's the overview, of course, of the beautiful holiday hamlet of Kiama here in New South Wales. Look at those rolling hills, absolutely glorious part of the world. There is a whale out to sea here. We're going to try and locate that one with the drone, and then we might even go for a little fly down and say good day to Moby just as we wrap up the quarterfinals here at the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. Don't forget Bodyboard King, one of the world's best online stores featuring everything bodyboarding. You can use the discount code KIAMA15 to get yourself a discount and through to close of trade here today.
Exactly. So that'll go to midnight tonight. So get amongst it and score a discount while you can.
So www.bodyboardking.com is the spot to go to. Also, thank you very much to Stojo. Of course, the collapsible cups. They're leak-proof. They're made from food-grade silicon, dishwasher-safe, BPA and lead-free product. Saving Mother Nature one cup at a time. Thank you very much to the gang at Stojo.
Thank you. As you can see, that Tezza, Edda's last wave, 6.88, so he's gone into first over Ben.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it? I mean, when I saw Benny's give him that wave, I thought to myself, be careful. You want to watch it. Ed is such a contest-savvy competitor. I mean, he's been around for so long. 2009 is when he first hit the scene, and he won that contest in Vienna. Looks like he's going to find another right-hander here, Toby, and he's found another one as that offshore really kicks in.
Look at this. He's lining up another flip bowl. Nice little roll. Just gets away from him there. So I don't think it's going to beat his 5 there, 5.07. And the clock's counting down. Ben's got 4 minutes 45 to get a 6.08.
Okay. You know it's serious when you stand up in the commentary booth. I'm starting to feel a bit of pressure for your brother right now. He had the lead there, but Ed has pegged him back, and Ed is in a pretty good spot on the world tour at the moment. Of course, when we come back later on this afternoon, I'm going to have all the rankings and stuff in front of me. We're going to go through some scenarios for the world title.
Good stuff.
But of course, with both PLC and Semi Martino making it through to the semis here in Kiama, those two guys have become the new two front runners.
Yeah, mate, they deserve it. They've been ripping this comp, so there's that replay of Edda's one. Nice, yeah. He did well for that section. I don't think it's going to be one of his high-scoring waves, though. He's got his technique down, Edda, at the moment, just waiting for those right-handers in the corner. As we see, Ben's sitting a lot further north. He's got his own peak, waiting for the big lefts, whereas Edda's just loving these right-handers. Yeah, he's very good on the rights, Edda. He's actually a very good all-rounded bodyboarder, just in general, big waves, small waves, lefts and rights. He's got it all. Benny player, though, chasing a 6.08 with the priority. He's got 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, so let's see if BP can dig himself out of this hole that he's put himself into by giving that wave with priority, with the non-priority for Ed Luciano to take back the lead. In this last quarterfinal, we are going on hold for around about 3 hours. I guess we'll be back at around 1 o'clock this afternoon. So it's right now 9:30 local time with that incoming tide. Toby's going to kill the wedge. You can see it right now. It's kind of backing off a fair bit, so it's a good call, I think. You going to go out for a surf, mate? I'm going to head out there and get wet. Yeah, I need to just freshen up. I think probably head back to Newcastle this afternoon when the contest wraps up, and then of course I'm on a plane on Sunday to Sintra. You're a machine. For the next little run, we're going to go to Sintra, and then we go up to Vienna, of course, for the World Junior Championships. I'm really excited. It's the first time ever that we've run the World Junior Championships as a standalone event. That's going to be really cool to make the kids the star of the show. Yeah, definitely. They deserve it. And, of course, then we've got about a 10-day lay day in between then and Fronton. So I'm going to go down and hang out in Nazare with my mate, the mayor of Nazare, Walter Shishara. How good. Yeah, go down there. I've got booked myself a little pad just back from the beach, and I'll take a board and wetsuit, and I'll just hang out and do some surfing for a week or so. Hang with the mayor. Too good, isn't it?
No, I'm very grateful for all the opportunities, that I have, not just with the APB, but just in general in life. You've got to be grateful. Gratitude is a huge part of my existence. I'm always, it's one of my favourite emotions. I think it's gratitude is the keys to the universe, Toby. There's a little tip for you, mate, from an old bloke.
Cheers, mate. Keep it in mind.
As we go to that drone shot again, we're just looking for that whale that was out the back there. We tried to locate it, but we couldn't get it. But that's the surf club that Tobes and I are broadcasting out of. We're right on the left-hand side of the surf club. We can see the tents, the Surfing NSW tents. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. What's happening out the back here, Tobes? The ocean has gone lifeless.
Oh, no, there's not much coming in. I can't see anything, but hopefully something's going to stand up in the corner for Ben. I'd love him to get through to the semis. He's done very good this competition.
Well, I feel like he's in a position. I feel like there's sets due to come in at the moment, and there's a couple out off the bommy. That's always an indicator, but it's always about a minute until they get here. So this is going to be a nail biter because there's 1 minute remaining. So 60 seconds on the clock. Luciano from Brazil is in the lead at the moment.
Ben's looking at this one, little wedge in the corner. He only needs a 6.08.
Yeah, 6.08. He's going to run out of time. He's not going to take that. That's not a 6.8, so that was a good move for BP to let that slide. He's got so much patience. 40 seconds remaining. Wow. And is there going to be another wave that comes through for Ben Player? Otherwise, Luciano will go into the semi-finals against Pierre-Louis Carstairs. It looks like there's not much coming, mate, unfortunately.
The ocean's just...
flat. It's gone lifeless. It looks like Lake Pacifico right now. We're down to 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, not much coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe a little right here, but it's kind of fading out, unfortunately.
What a shame. So, Ben probably come back to that moment in the heat when he let Etta have that wave. That was a bit of a moment where it all switched up for him, but a great performance from the three-time world champion. He's still showing that he's got it, mate.
He's still got it, but yeah, unfortunately not today, but well done, Ben Player. But Etta through to the semi-final against PLC. That's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, so that's going to be a red-hot one. So who's the two semi-finals now? We've got Semi Martino, of course, will be up against Dave Winchester. And then we're going to have Luciano against PLC. So that's going to be a pretty special moment right there, folks. So that's a wrap on the quarterfinals here at the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. I believe we will throw to a commercial break. We're going to come back and do the interview with Luciano before we let you go. So stick around, folks. Going to have more live action from Kiama right after this, so don't go anywhere.
like a bird of prey. Bubble. Raw, undiluted talk, and then and the boulders start rolling towards left and right, all the way to the top.
The 580 Newton meter Amarok V6.
What do you mean we can't show it?
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's the final day of the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. It is Tezza and Tobes, and we are joined by the beach announcer himself, Nick Blanche. Hey, Blanchy, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, thanks, guys. It's a great little morning of action here at Main Beach in Kiama. Of course, we saw only one Australian progress through to the semi-finals in Dave Winchester, and that was back in quarterfinal number 1, where we saw Winnie grab that 8.38 for the tube ride that he saw. But things haven't really hollowed up throughout the day, and as Toby was saying just off air a moment ago, this could be a semi-final for a young, light surfer who's just going to go absolutely large.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Nick's with us. He does a bit of work beach announcing with the WSL, and is an announcer with Oz Stereo Network with Triple M and the guys. But man, you grew up as a bodyboarding fan, and you must be pretty stoked to commentate some of your heroes out there.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can remember going back and ripping out the old Tension 2 VHS, and it had the likes of Dave Winchester on there and Mitch Rawlins, and being able to see these guys up close again. Haven't really done any events for about 10 years, but these guys are, it's just like we were watching them 10 years ago. They're still super fit. The high performance aspect of surfing these days, and the way that these guys are training is unbelievable. I saw Ben Player doing beach runs before he ran out there. Like, I remember trying to surf when I was younger, and it was like literally get out of the car and run to the water. So these guys are warming up properly. They're stretching. Yeah. They're doing all the right things to get their bodies in shape for these kind of conditions.
Yeah, you betcha. And a bit of a bummer there, Tobes, for your brother. He just didn't get the opportunity in the end.
Mate, he surfed well, but yeah, unfortunately just Edda just surfed really well, and he deserved it. Got a good right-hander at the end, just snuck it under Ben's priority, and came through for him.
Absolutely. We've got Luciano, of course, has made his way back here after winning that last heat. So Alex Leon will grab that microphone off you, Blanchy. But thanks again, Nick. I appreciate it, buddy. Doing a great job with the beach announcing. So, of course, we're going on hold here at the moment, Tobes. So this is our last heat for now. We're going to finish off with this interview, and we're going to come back after the interview and we'll explain exactly what's happening with the rest of the day. Okay, it's over to Alex Leon speaking with the winner of the previous heat. It was Ed Luciano from Brazil. So take it away, Leo.
Yeah, thanks, Tezza. Ed Luciano, holding it alive for Brazil, mate, into the semi-finals. How's that feel?
So happy to advance to the semi-final. It's a hard hit with Ben Player, one of the best bodyboarders in the world. He surfed really bad yesterday, really good yesterday. Just surfed 2 waves and advanced with Tristan, one of the best rides right now. And so happy. Last year was a hard situation for me here in Australia. I lost in the first round. And this year I back to do my best and improve the results. Yes, I made it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've got probably a lot of Brazilians watching the broadcast and got your back here to, have your support straight through to the semi-final, mate. Can you go all the way to the final?
Thank you so much, everybody that's watching me. Obrigado, galera do Brasil. Todo mundo que está me dando suporte aí, as mensagens, pois está fazendo total diferença aqui. Já temos uma bandeira do Brasil aí no pódio, né? Amarradão de estar representando o Brasil aqui na Austrália, né? No país do bodyboard também. E é isso aí, continue na torcida aí, vamos com tudo para a final agora. Bora!
You're taking on Pierre-Louis Carstairs from France, who's been on fire in this contest as well. Have you got a strategy in mind to take him on in this semi-final?
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing hit with Pierre in this condition. He surfed really good. Just want to try to do my best and get the good ones during the heat. And some big RS is going to be the point to win PR in this condition.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a big RS backflip semi-final going down later on this afternoon. Well, congratulations, Edda. If you want to say another shout-out to anyone in Brazil, have a chance now.
Isso aí, galera. Continue de torcida aí, tamo junto e é Brasil. Vamos nessa.
Congratulations, Ed. We'll see you in the semi-final. Righto, we're going to go on hold, but I'll throw it back to Tezza and Toby. And that was Ed Luciano into the semi-finals.
Yeah, nice work. Thank you very much, Alex Leon. We're here with the drone to say a little flyway goodbye. So that's it for the quarterfinals here at the Kiama Bodyboard King Pro. Bom dia, tudo bem to all of our friends watching in Brazil. What a great result for Edda. But we're going to say goodbye, and we'll be back at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll hope to see you then. Have a good one. Ciao.
do this right now.
Live from epicenter.tv.
This thing was incredible.